Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed, live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharpe is back. Good morning.
Where is it?
Where's what?
The celebration.
But what?
Where's the hen?
No, we don't celebrate
We're
that.
the gummy bears.
It'll be here tomorrow when we run through the Nuggets.
We're the
tonight.
Black and Miles.
Now, why would
This
I
is
celebrate
it.
that?
Championship days are here again. It's time for the parade.
It'll be here tomorrow, though.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah. You want to put some dew on that?
I do not want
They
to.
got the Nuggets.
I'll think about
True.
that. I mean,
Hey.
Morning. We did miss you
Don't
yesterday.
think I didn't see what y'all did yesterday in my
oh,
absence.
you were watching?
Don't think I didn't see Skip Bayless.
Really?
He doesn't miss anything.
Tried to move in on my turf, my home team.
It was a
we
one-
cool.
We're trying something new
Y'all
over
not
here.
cool.
It was a one-shot deal.
Oh, see, I told you.
One
Look at
shot?
it.
Oh, so you've been talking about it, huh?
Yeah. I didn't want Jenny to know what you're capable of.
Oh, so interesting.
Either way, I'm
You're
going to do
no-
my best between you two
Communication.
today. I don't have any bias. I am right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. We have a lot to get to
Switzerland.
today. Why is Shannon's guy, Aaron Rodgers, a huge underdog on Sunday? And then Skip, sorry, but your Cowboys, their offense has struggled. Will Amari Cooper fix everything? We are going to start with what Skip just brought up, what LeBron and the Lakers did last night. They desperately needed a win after starting the season 0-3, and they showed up big in Phoenix. LeBron scored 19 points, added 10 assists. He didn't need to play in the fourth quarter. In total, 7 Lakers scored in double digits in the blowout win. After the game, LeBron talked about LA's first win of the season. Let's hear what he had to say.
It feels great to win, period, but it feels good for us to know what we've been doing over the training camp in these first few games to continue to get better. I think we've gotten better tonight, and we want to try to continue that going forward. To have a group that can close out the game like that allow me to get back here and get started and get ready for tomorrow. So looking forward to that challenge.
Shannon, they needed the win. How impressive were the Lakers last night?
Well, I don't take a whole lot of this. Phoenix isn't a very good basketball team. They showed that. They got 2 good players, Booker and DeAndre Ayton looks like he's going to be the real deal, but this is not a very good team. So I didn't take a whole lot out of it. I think there are still issues that remain for the Lakers. Outside shooting, defense still needs improving, Skip. And they have no depth at the center position. Once JaVale McGee gets in foul trouble or he gets winded and needs a blow, they have no depth at that position. But they got out and ran. I like the 34 assists, 8 turnovers. That's very good. They had a stretch where they went 34 consecutive minutes without a turnover. LeBron had 10 assists, 0 turnovers. That's good. He's still not shooting the ball as well as I know he's going to shoot it. I mean, he's been abysmal from the three-point line. Josh Hart was finally inserted into the starting lineup. I think I called that on Monday, Skip, that's what we're going to see. And why not? A second-year player who's getting better and better, why not let him get those minutes that Caldwell Pope was occupying? So I like some of the things that I saw. But at the end of the day, Skip, we know they're going to be able to score. We know they're going to push the pace. They got guys, every guy for the most part can handle the ball. They can get the ball up the court, so you don't necessarily have to have a designated guy bringing the ball up the court. Kuzma can bring it up. LeBron can bring it up. Stevenson, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart. All their guys can literally bring the ball up the court. So you don't have to have one guy that says, okay, I got to get the ball to him in order to push the pace. So we saw that last night. Guys were just getting the ball ahead, making some great plays. JaVale McGee, we know, Skip, what he's going to do. He's going to give you great effort. He's going to hustle. Blocks a shot on one end, hustles down the court. LeBron, whoop, whoop, bounce that thing to him, make him look real good. And what he do? Boing. I was like, oh, my goodness. JaVale. But
He's capable.
yeah, he's capable of a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
So far, he's kept those to on a limited basis. But they shot the ball 52% from the floor. It's good. 10 or 28. I mean, you can live with 35, 36% from the three-point line. LeBron was perfect from the free throw line. Nice to see that. Wish he was, could get those 2 that he hit last night. Could have made those. Skip, I'm talking. Ain't nobody ask. I didn't ask you anything.
Phoenix.
It didn't ask you anything.
Did this get close in the end?
No. And that's why I don't take a whole lot out of it. But there are some things that Luke Walton can build on. They talked about how he was upset earlier in the day about the defense, and that's going to be the thing moving forward. I tell you what, We'll find out if that message resonated that Luke Walton gave them about the defensive end. Because the Nuggets come, and the Nuggets can hang 140 on you at the blink of an eye.
Wait, LeBron went 1 for 5 from 3? I'm losing track. What is he now, like
424?
What percent is that? That's pretty
You
low,
know what
right?
percent it is.
Huh. So wait, Lonzo Ball shooting 41% from 3, and what is LeBron? I can't even do the math.
Skip, it's
Help
only,
me out. What did Steve say?
It's 4 games into the season.
Okay. 4
We have
for 24?
We have 78 more games to go.
Oh, so he was in Italy, then he was in France, then he was in Germany, then he was in China.
What that got to do with this?
Maybe he wasn't practicing his threes.
You know
I
he
don't
was practicing.
You gotta practice.
Okay.
The older you get, the more you have to work at it. That's just a thought for the day, right? So my takeaways from last night were pretty different than yours. First of all, I'm going to say it again. This is the most fun team to watch on offense in all of basketball. I just sit back. I am wildly entertained because they push it like mad.
They do.
And we've been talking about that points in the paint statistic. They are now averaging through just 4 games, but still 4 games, 71 points a game in points in the paint. Again, last year, no team the whole year had more than 68 points in the paint, and the leader last year was the New Orleans Pelicans. They averaged 52.4 points per paint points in the paint per game.
Yeah.
Okay, so 71 versus 52. 71, they're just crushing what was happening last year.
Right.
Why is that? Push it, push it, push it. Some of it's because of JaVale. Sometimes your LeBron passes are getting people open for layups, but they're just pushing. They're outrunning the defense. They're getting open paths to the basket on fast breaks. So they're scoring at the basket at will. And I love to watch that because it's fun. It's like globetrottery. You know, it's like LeBron is Meadowlark Lemon orchestrating this run and shoot extravaganza. It's just fun to watch. And I think they will continue to get more and more fun to watch on the offensive end. Again, Lance Stevenson said that last night that Luke had just torn into them in a pregame session and that they responded. And I thought they played hard, especially in the first half on defense before it became a blowout. I saw effort that I have not seen.
You just told me earlier it was Phoenix.
Well, it was.
Okay.
And yet, I'm still going to say, I'm going to hang in there. This team is a little better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know how you feel. You're down on them. Chris Broussard's been down on them. We'll see how he feels later in the show. But I'm a little up on them because they're a little better than I thought. But so is Denver, as you point out. And so are the Pelicans, as I pointed out. And for that matter, so is Sacramento. Sacramento had a huge win the other night at Oklahoma City.
Right.
They're not bad. They're a team capable of beating the Lakers a couple times this year. And to your point, Phoenix has talent, but Phoenix is probably going to finish at the bottom of the West.
Yeah, they get the number 1 pick again.
Okay. All right. They're going to get the number 1 pick. And by the way, their guy last night, to your point, had what,
22 and 11, right?
22 and 11. Wow. And that's the DeAndre Ayton. Remember before March Madness, I said we had to make our picks. I'm terrible at picking. And I said, well, he's by far the most dominant player in college basketball. I think I'll take Arizona, right? And what happens? They play Buffalo in the first game, and they lose 89-68 because Buffalo makes 15 of 33s, and it's madness.
Yes.
It's why they call it madness.
Yes.
That's DeAndre Ayton, who was dominant last night in a losing cause, but still, you know, that's college basketball.
But that's what goes to show you, Skip. Okay, you say the Lakers are averaging 71 points in the paint.
Yep.
That's a must when you don't shoot well from the perimeter.
Okay.
And see, as you mentioned, DeAndre Ayton dominated the paint in college. But when a team lights you up from the outside with 15 threes, this is what happens. So this is what the Lakers are going to have to guard against. Unless they're in the 70 points, the 80 points and points in the paint. Because they don't shoot well from the outside, it's going to be a struggle because if a team can get hot, not even get hot, they shoot 13, make 13, somewhere between 13 and 17 threes. Right now, we haven't seen the Lakers be able to match that. So they're going to have to dominate the points in the paint for the simple fact they don't shoot the ball particularly well from the outside. And then when you don't shoot the ball well from the outside, things go bad for you in a hurry and you get blown out. So this is what they're going to have to push the pace. They're going to have to get easy baskets because in a half court set, Skip, they're not shooting well from outside.
Okay. 76 points just in the first half, albeit against Phoenix, but that's some firepower now. That's impressive. So the other shock of the night to me was, and I tweeted about this, I never thought I would see the night when Lance Stevenson came in and carried LeBron James' team, because I never could see them in the same sentence to start with. And Lance Stevenson saved the night and carried the night.
What you mean?
He came in and they were struggling. They were down 1 when he came in mid-first quarter. I don't know if you watched this. I did.
I watched
it
the game
very carefully. Lance Stevenson came off the bench and ignited the Los Angeles Lakers when LeBron was just okay. He didn't have like high energy, extreme intensity last night.
No.
And Lance goes for played 11 straight minutes. This is mid-first quarter into the second quarter. And in 11 minutes, he scores 12 points with 4 rebounds and 6 assists and a steal. Those are some staggering numbers to put up coming off the bench. And he goes, they're down 1, and then when he leaves, they're up 5, and they're on the way to blowing them out. 76 first half points.
Well, you know, that's what you can get from him, Skip.
Okay?
I mean,
but that's, that's pretty valuable. That was game-changing last night.
He's highly capable. We saw some performances like this in the playoffs. It's the antics that takes away, because Skip, he can be a really good player from time to time.
All right.
Because remember, there was a couple of times maybe 2 years ago, he had like 5 or 6 triple doubles in the first half of the season. So we know he's capable of playing. He was a starter on those teams for Indiana that was getting to Eastern Conference Finals. But it's the antics that comes along with him, from blowing into the air and doing all this crazy stuff. But he gonna pick the guitar, he gonna start hot dogging. You know, that's that New York in him, Skip. So he can't help himself.
Antics on Lance's part and antics on JaVale's part, and Rondo's got his own set of antics going on, right? As in spitting antics.
Yes.
And Michael Beasley has antics going on because he didn't play a lick last night. And I don't know what was going on. Is he either doghoused already, or were they just keeping him fresh for tonight, doing a Popovich?
Keeping him fresh for what?
Well, maybe for the Nuggets. Maybe he'll play the Lance role tonight. Come in and
I don't worry about keeping players fresh. I worry about keeping my fruit fresh.
Really?
He ain't fruit. So he needs to play, because he hadn't played well when given the opportunity to play. But all hands on deck tonight. We'll find out a lot more about the Lakers tonight, because you have a team that Skip, let me tell you something about the Nuggets. Oh, they'll go up and down with you, because they feel they can match you point for point. But what they can do that the Lakers can't, they can hit threes. And they got a big guy in the middle, Jokic. He ain't to be played with. So JaVale got his handful tonight.
JaVale continues to dominate on defense. And I don't use that word that often, but he dominates on defense because he had 4 more blocks last night.
He had 4 blocks in like the first quarter.
So he's 3rd in the league in blocks, and it feels like he could continue to be 3rd in the league in blocks the whole year.
Yeah.
And he's playing hard. He plays a little goofy occasionally, but again, I didn't see that coming. I didn't know he could be that dominant.
You know what, Skip? He might lead the league in scoring, because right now they can't stop anybody from getting to the paint, and so he's the last line of defense. So he can easily average 4 blocks a game, and he's going to need to average those kind of blocks per night.
And he's averaging at least 4 changed shots a game, because he is really bothering people.
But I wish, because he's challenging everything, I wish other guys would get down there and try to box the guy out, because he's challenging a shot that their guy got past them, and now his guy's grabbing the rebound, dunking it, and everybody's looking around like, what happened? JaVale like, bro, give me a hand. I challenge your guy's shot. At least get back in position to try to keep my guy off the glass, so you don't make me look bad. But I can roll with JaVale. Look, Skip, you know what you're going to get with the guy. He's going to give you tremendous effort on both ends, especially the defensive end. He's not really you don't really run plays for him. I hate that he hit that 3-point shot last night, because now all of a sudden he's going to be thinking he's Steph Curry. We're going to talk about Steph Curry a little later in the show.
A little different.
But Skip, he can be. I'm surprised he's playing as many minutes as he's playing. We've never seen him play. You know, he's like 3 minutes here, 2 minutes there. You know, at the end of the night, you look up, he's played 16 minutes. JaVale's averaging in the 20 minutes. 22, 23 minutes. So that's a good sign. But again, once he gets in foul trouble, he gets winded, you go into Kuzma. Kuzma's not playing the 5. Well, you want Kuzma guarding Jokic tonight?
What about Zubac? Love Zubac. He was
the only Zuba I remember.
-4.
You remember the Zubas, the pants that they had for the NFL team? And they went away. So this Zubac and Zubas, put them on the shelf.
Zumbas. So, JaVale McGee, believe it or not, leads the Lakers in defensive individual win shares at 74th in the league. LeBron's...
That's all he is?
Yeah, he's 74th. That's as high as any Laker is. Well, they haven't been playing any defense.
Whoa. Time out. Where's Lonzo?
Well, I don't know. I was LeBron. He's 269.
No. Well, no.
269.
He was, and guess what?
How can you be
He
269?
at one point in time he was 358. You was talking about it.
I know.
I told you he's coming down. So,
269. He talks a good.
and
game
we
on
got
defense,
a case to do that. He gonna be under 200.
We do not have.
Yeah, we got a case to do on
I
that.
don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
don't worry about it. We got a case to do.
We do.
And we're gonna have a case to
Look
do
at these,
tonight
he's
on
like
the.
the makes up bet.
And we're gonna have a case
On
to
the
do.
fly
I
when he
hear-
thinks he's in.
And-
I don't
the
remember that
leverage.
one.
And we got the 80 percentile. Is he shooting?
We
80%?
do have that.
And is he shooting 80%?
He's
Is
right
he shooting
there.
80%?
Yeah, but Lonzo Ball, believe it or not, is 41% from three. That's my guy, and he's 9 of 22. And so it's possible, you know, he's on a path right now to lead the league in three-point shooting and lead the league in three-point air balls because every night he shoots at least
Is
two
he either
air
going
balls.
in or it's an air
It's
ball?
either going to swish or it's going to miss everything. Have you ever seen anything like
No,
that before?
no.
He shoots 2 a night, 2
Yeah.
air balls. They miss everything where he's not ready and he's not, you know, he doesn't have conviction of the
Right.
shot. Like, should I or I'll go ahead and try
Right.
it. And it like misses 3 feet to the right.
Yep.
Or he just rips it. When he steps into it, it's usually pretty good.
I still believe the Lakers are going to make a move for a shooter. They get a shooter, I think they're going to be in business.
Yep.
They played your guy, how you say his name?
Mikhailuk.
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 They played him. He had a 3 last night.
Just call him V.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
V ain't playing no D.
No, he didn't play any.
But as a
I
matter of
told
fact,
you that,
he's
but
on the
he-
perfect team because it doesn't look like anybody except JaVale McGee go play D.
Yeah. Well, so they're going to go get Kyle Korver? Is that what you think? Or-
I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know.
I believe they would be better served with a shooter. Skip, at some point in time, at some point, teams are not going to just let you get 70 points, average 70 points a night in the paint because those are easy buckets. And I get it. They're getting the ball off the rim. And as I said, they have so many guys that can push it. You don't have to have a designated guy. There are some teams you need a designated guy because you don't have 4 or 5 guys that can bring the ball up the court and initiate offense. That's what the Lakers have. But at some point, you got to take something away, and all good teams will. Let's pack this lane. Let's make sure we get back on D so they don't get the layups. They don't get the dunks. And then let's see, get them in a half-court set. Let's see who can make a shot 15 and out and see what happens.
So the Denver Nuggets are now second in defensive efficiency, and they did beat Golden State 100-98. So they held Golden State under 100 points. That's pretty great, right?
That's better than great.
So you actually did offer me a case of Diet Mountain Dew on this game tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
well,
want it?
You
Did
said
you
it.
want? Do you want it?
I mean, I've been trying to protect you from yourself.
I don't want
or
no protection.
Save you from yourself.
I don't want protection.
But the more I think about it, you're really going to give me another case?
Look, this is what I want you to do. If we out in the Serengeti and there's a lion's den, I want you to put me out and drive off.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I want you to do.
Well, you'll get eaten.
No, I'll be just fine. When I come back, I'll be laying on one of them back propped up.
You will?
Yep.
Hand to hand, like
Nope,
bare-handed?
I'm just going to be laying on because I've talked to him. I know how to talk.
Oh, you talk to
Yeah.
lions.
And I talked you into this bet right here. Do you want it? Yes or no?
You know, every time you propose the bet, you tend to lose the bet.
Do you want the bet? Do you want the Denver Nuggets at Staples tonight for a case of dew? It's a simple yes or a simple no. Or I'm scared, Shannon, because I don't want you to get down under double figures in the cases of dew.
I'm only up 10.
Okay, so when you bet me, you'll be down to 9. Do you want it?
I apologize to America. I accept the bet.
Ooh,
I'm
all
sorry.
right.
I apologize to you. I apologize to Jenny. I'm sorry, but I accept the bet.
Watch what LeBron does tonight.
Yeah.
I might
This is
get-
it? Maybe
Yeah.
he was saving himself last
Triple
night for
dub.
tonight.
Oh, really?
Triple dub.
Well, he should have one every night. He should average a triple
no,
dub.
no,
I don't know about the rebounds. He's dogging it on the boards.
JaVale's
Seriously.
getting rebounds.
Okay, all right.
I mean, hold on. How many rebounds he had last night? He had 7, Skip. I mean, gee.
7. He should
Yeah.
have 10 or 11 every
In 28
night.
minutes?
He's 6'9".
He played 28
Come on.
minutes.
Come on.
I mean, he was Lance had 8, and JaVale, what did JaVale have? Lonzo had 6.
Lonzo always has 6.
But you make it seem like LeBron is bumming it. The dude is averaging 27, 8, and 8.
I said 32, 10, and 10, and that's what
Now
he
he's
should
no,
do.
he's not going to average 32.
He's got to
points.
kick it into gear. Maybe he will tonight, but I don't think.
Oh, he's going to kick it in gear?
He may. He'll kick it in gear, and it won't be enough. Denver's They're pretty good.
That's why I wanted to get this bet, because this is going to tell me a lot more about the Lakers than what I saw last night against the Suns.
Huh. It actually tells me a lot about you, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you Conor McGregor. So you thought by me saying, when he said the 8-ounce gloves, they started out with 10, and then he kept bragging. So you keep bragging about how good the Nuggets are, and I'm sorry, America, I don't want to do this to Shannon, but you forced me to.
You started it.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it too.
Okay.
I'll be celebrating tomorrow. When you ask me where all my products,
I want to know where
you'll see them tomorrow.
Yeah,
they'll be right here tomorrow.
You're just like you're too weak without your prop. You need your props.
No,
they're like Samson's hair to
But
you.
I mean, if I'm celebrating the day that Shannon, you celebrating the Suns?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you're highly capable of celebrating.
No, not the Suns.
It's kind of all you got.
But I tell you what I am. I will be celebrating against the Nuggets tomorrow morning.
All right, good.
So you don't have to ask. They'll be here.
It's done. It's over.
Done deal.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you sorry for?
I don't know how I feel about confidence-wise. I might be with Skip on this one. I'm a little worried for you.
Jenny, don't do that.
Little worried for you.
Jenny, I got it. Saw him coming.
Will you be celebrating, though, on Sunday? Because your guy, Aaron Rodgers, is a huge underdog. We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have a tough hill to climb Sunday here in LA against the Rams on Fox. They're a 9.5-point underdog, which is the highest point spread against Rodgers since he's been the Packers starter. He's facing a Rams team that's a perfect 7-0 and averaging nearly 34 points a game. Shannon, what does the point spread tell you?
It tells me that Vegas has a lot of respect, the ultimate respect for the Rams. They're a very good football team. Offensively, as you mentioned, Jenny, they're averaging 34 points a game or almost. And it tells me that the Vegas looks at Green Bay, and although they have a transcendent quarterback, they're a very flawed team. They've given up at least 29 points in 4 of their 5 games. They watched C.J. Beathard just the other night carve them up. And C.J. Beathard is an okay quarterback, but he's not Jared Goff. The 49ers offense does not possess what the Rams possess, and Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff. So this is why. But it also should be an indictment to the Green Bay's front office, because you've done a very poor job of surrounding a transcendent player with weapons, not on the offensive side, because everybody automatically assumes, well, when you have a transcendent player, you surround him with offensive talent. No, but you better get somebody that can stop the opposing team and don't force him to every game have to go out and score 35 points in order to win. And that's what they've done. You look at the Green Bay's defense, it says, Green Bay, y'all not very good defensively. And it's putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback. And he's nicked. Vegas tells me that they believe Aaron Rodgers is still a little nicked. That's what it tells me.
He's going to take his brace off. That's what he
Supposedly.
says.
That's
Yes.
what he said.
Yeah.
When I see it, I believe it.
Well, that's what he said.
I don't care what he say, Skip Bayless. I see better than I hear.
Yeah.
People say a lot of things.
Did you see him run that 4.240 right up the gut
He
against
ran
San Francisco?
4.240 in 10 yards.
Yeah, he did.
So you
About
ought to be
30
shape.
yards.
And also, look, I already know where he's going to go. Tom Brady has never been a 9-point. But when has Tom Brady ever gone into a game where someone said, you know what? Their coach is better than Coach Belichick. Mike McCarthy is going into this game. I don't believe there's a general manager. You say, okay, who would you rather have, Mike McCarthy or Sean McVay right now? How many general managers of the 32 will say they would take Mike McCarthy over Sean McVay? So there's a lot of indictment to go around. But what this mainly tells me about Vegas, who does these kind of things for a living, is that they have the ultimate respect for the Rams, and they don't have a whole lot of respect for the Packers. They have respect for Aaron Rodgers, but they just say, bro, your defense, I ain't buying it.
You know, it's funny. I hadn't planned to bring up Tom Brady.
Yes,
but
you
now,
had.
Now that you bring it up, that's a great idea. I like that because that frames it all. Eureka, I see it. Now it comes clear to me. The odds makers are just saying what I've been saying all along, that Aaron Rodgers is no Tom Brady. Because obviously, to your point, if Tom Brady were going to the Rams this Sunday, what would he be? Maybe a 3-point underdog?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah,
would it be Pick'em?
Or if he had Mike McCarthy, he'd probably be a 13-point underdog if he had Mike McCarthy. But he got Coach Belichick. He got the best coach that's ever walked the sideline.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So Coach Belichick's defense has given up the 25th most yards in the NFL this year. Green Bay's only given up the 8th most yards. That's interesting.
What about
8th to
Whoa.
25th.
What about
Points are a
points?
they're a little closer. It's 15th for Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay is 15th in points allowed, but 20th for the genius Belichick. 20th? Are you kidding me? And they've given up the 3rd most second half points in the National Football League, and it was the 2nd most after the Kansas City debacle.
They so far ahead.
Huh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think they've been so far ahead. I think there have been a lot of close games that mostly the real 12 pulls out. So, to me, Aaron Rodgers is getting no respect from Las Vegas because when I look at the receivers, I can make a case that Aaron Rodgers has at least as good a receiving core as Tom Brady does, especially if Gronk is in and out of the lineup because Jimmy Graham's been pretty good. He's been more productive than Gronk as far as availability goes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
he has. I give you that.
And Devontae Adams, my God, he's a big-time number 1 receiver. He's looking like a Pro Bowl player to me because he's averaging 12 yards a catch on 47 catches. Guess who Brady's top receiver is so far? It's little James White. So Devontae Adams has 47 catches. James White has 45 catches, and he's only averaging 8 yards a catch because he's just dink and dunk, right?
But he moves the chains, and that's the extension of their running game. But Skip, think about it. Green Bay's lost on the road to Washington and Detroit, and I don't think Vegas respects Washington and Detroit like they respect the Rams, and rightfully so, because they got 2 MVP candidates. Right now, Todd Gurley is at worst case scenario. No matter how good you think of Pat Mahomes and Drew Brees has played, Todd Gurley is in that discussion for MVP. Jared Goff might be a little ways down, but he's in the discussion because they're 7-0. He's the quarterback. He's played well, but Todd Gurley. So look at what Aaron has the opposition that he knows, that Rodgers knows that he goes into a game. If I don't score 30, we're going to lose. That's an awful lot. That's an awful burden to have to bear game in and game out.
Tom Brady bears every game? His defense is horrendously bad. Did you see the Super Bowl? Remember the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Remember what happened against Blake Bortles at Jacksonville? Remember what happened against Matt Stafford at Detroit? Remember those games? Yeah. It was just bombs away against genius Belichick's defense.
But what you took is that one game, and Brady did play unbelievable. He had the costly turnover. But do you think Brady played well against Detroit? In Detroit? Do you think he played well against Jacksonville in Jacksonville? He bears some culpability. He did turn the ball over.
Yet, would you believe that Tom Brady, not having quite the year he had a year ago when he was the MVP of the league, he's still 7th overall in QBR at 73 at scale of 0 to 100. So 73 it's pretty decent. Aaron Rodgers, the most overrated quarterback in the league because of you and others on this show, he's at 53. That's only 3 points above average.
What about
53?
touchdown?
That ranks 20th.
What about touchdown to interception ratio?
12 to 1. But again, when you factor in when do you throw them and what mistakes do you make and what do you do with your legs, it's 53. That's just barely about, again, 20th in the league is Aaron Rodgers.
But we
so
know
Las Vegas is saying he ain't all that.
But Skip, what we know that QBR is skewed because we've seen guys throw 2 interceptions and the opposing guy throws none and has 300-yard passing and his QBR is lower than the guy that threw 2 picks.
Sometimes, but mostly it's very accurate.
Okay, it's very accurate. But look at Tom's. What did he have? 13, 14, 15 touchdowns now?
16.
16 touchdowns.
To 7.
16 to 7. And Aaron Rodgers is what?
12 to 1.
Oh, okay. Give me that.
But how about the records?
Give me that.
3-2-1 for Green Bay, but 5-2, and they know what Tom Brady has to keep overcoming because that's a bad defense.
Well, if Mason Crossbar, which is the name Crossbar, because like somebody, you remember he doinked 4 of them, Skip Bayless, and the PAT, and he shanked one against Minnesota. So easily, that's 2 more wins. So put those 2 wins in Aaron Rodgers' column, and guess what? We're having a different discussion.
Aaron's been stinking it up, though.
No, don't do that, Skip.
Yeah, he has. Well,
How is he stinking it up with 12 to 1?
He's been making mistakes. Get fumbles, sack fumbles.
What about Tom?
Every once in a while, but not that often.
Pick, fumble. Remember he fumbled the other night against Kansas City?
Yeah, who won that game?
Y'all, they won.
Tom Brady threw for 182 in the 4th quarter in that game. That's just outrageously great. It's inexplicably great.
You know what?
Well, it just is.
Why you do that, Skip?
I don't do it. He did it. I'm just repeating what he did.
All I'm saying is that you make it seem like Coach Belichick, What you try to do is marginalize and minimize Coach Belichick's impact.
He
on
has
these
lost
games.
his fastball
He ain't
coaching
lost nothing.
defense.
No, he
Coaching
has not.
defense.
No, he has not.
For the last 2 years, I just don't see it. I don't. Show me. Help me.
When they need to make plays against Jacksonville in that championship game, they gave up 3 points on the very first possession because what happened was they flipped the field, Jen, and then they kicked the field goal. So like 3 seconds into the fourth quarter. Prior to that, Skip Bayless, in the most meaningful ball games, championship games, Super Bowls, how many points had that defense allowed?
What happened, Jen, in the fourth quarter of the Jacksonville game is that Tom Brady threw for 138 against the best defense in pro football and controlled the clock and the football and played keep away from the Jacksonville offense. So it didn't have time to do the damage that it had been doing. It was up 20-10 early in the fourth quarter. I'm just telling you what happens.
Quality guy. Not how much
I'm
of
a
it.
facts guy.
I'm not how much of it do I have, but what did I do when I did have it? And see, that was the question, because even though Tom was doing what he was doing in football, they don't play make it, take it like we do at the Blacktop. You make a basket, you keep the ball. In football, you score, you got to kick off, Skip Bayless. So Blake Bortles was getting back on the field. Think about
the same Blake Horribles who threw for 373 against Belichick's defense in week 2 of this year?
Yeah, the one.
That guy?
Yeah,
that guy? Is that who you're talking about?
And the one that got benched for Cody Kessler in the third quarter of last week's game.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Belichick.
Yeah,
really?
that guy. That's the guy. That's the guy we talk about that Jalen Ramsey say, we know what the problem is. But you know, Jalen, you said it. Now, you said everybody else quarterback was trash. Say, oh, Blake, we got us a good one. No, you don't. You got trash. What you called everybody else's quarterback other than Brady and Rodgers. But that's neither here nor there, Skip Bayless. You know
what is here and not there is that Aaron Rodgers got Devontae and Jimmy Graham, and Geronimo's now healthy again, and Randall Cobb.
Oh, Josh
and
Gordon.
Ty Montgomery.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, you love doing this. Who has the most upside, Devontae Adams or Josh Gordon?
I'm going to quote the great Shannon Sharpe, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Josh Gordon last Sunday looked like he was running with a piano on his back.
He did.
Piano on his back.
Disqualified. Did he catch the ball?
You just disqualified your own argument.
Hold on. But did he catch the ball? What?
Do any of Aaron's receivers look like they have pianos on their back? I don't think so.
When's the last time Randall Cobb and Geronimo Allison played?
Well, I got
Geronimo! Yeah. Are you playing this week?
Yeah.
Randall Cobb.
He's playing. He practiced yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
About time?
Here we go. Well, I'm just saying he's got his full complement.
What about Randall Cobb?
And guess what?
What?
The spread opened at 8.5, and the betting public is riding the Rams, and it got bet up to 9.5. Geronimo!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Todd Gurley is on a historic pace.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Skip. In a throwing league, here's a guy that has, 14, 15 touchdowns already in 7 games. He's on a pace to eclipse LT's 31 total touchdowns. His MVP season. You got to factor that in. Vegas factored all that in.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Who y'all play this week? Who the Patriots play?
Oh, I thought you meant the Cowboys.
No, Patriots.
We're going to win this week, the Cowboys.
Who y'all play?
We're playing
y'all play the bye. Oh, the bye. Oh, yeah.
We got the bye. We got this.
I guarantee you Dak's QBR will be like 50.
No, Dak threw like 7 touchdown passes yesterday against air to Amari Cooper. Against air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You proud of yourself for that, Skip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We gonna see. We about to talk about Amari.
Really?
Your guy, every time he scores a touchdown, you gonna be singing Amari, huh?
That's Amari. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was listening to that song last night. Do you know the Dean Martin song?
I do know Dean Martin.
Okay, have that ready for us.
No mercy.
Since the Cowboys are in the bye, they have been able to get used to their newest member, Amari Cooper. He practiced for the first time with his new team yesterday. The 3-4 Cowboys needed a number 1 wide receiver. Dak Prescott said yesterday, quote, "This isn't the magic pill. One player isn't going to make all these errors that we've had go away." But Cooper was a little more optimistic when talking about his new team. Let's take a listen.
I think I bring, a lot of playmaking ability, can stretch the defense. All those things, but I'll leave that to you guys to see. It's a fresh start. This is a good team. I'm just giving them something to build on, I guess you can say. And it's America's team. Who wouldn't be excited?
I know Skip likes that, but Shannon, what do you make of the quotes you just heard from those guys?
I think both Dallas, Dak, Amari are saying the right things. We're excited to have this guy. This guy's a playmaker. I read what Jason Garrett said. He's a cornerstone player. Amari saying, it's great to be here. America's team. It's also great to be wanted. And great, and that is true. You want to be wanted. It hurt his pride. You're the 4th pick in the draft from 4 years ago, and halfway through your 4th season, a coach says, nah, bro, we're better without you. That has to do something to your pride. But, Skip, here's the problem, is that while Dak says he's not a magic pill, actually that's not what the fans think. That's not what the Cowboys front office think, because they believe that this guy is the guy that can put us over the hump to get us to win the NFC East, which you believe they're going to do. And with that becomes a lot of responsibility. A lot of expectations will be placed on this young man's shoulders, because if it doesn't pan out, they're like, okay, they're going to start looking at Jerry sideways because, you wanted it. Jerry, do it. Jerry, do it. Jerry, you've lost your stomach.
Jimmy, I don't even speak, and he's like
No,
speaking
I
for
know.
me.
No, 'cause
Like,
not
you
yet.
do all my,
No.
you know what? I should just take the rest of the day off.
No, I don't think so.
If I'm the Cowboy fans, I'm concerned because with Khalil Mack's situation was different, Skip. Okay, John Gruden says, well, Khalil didn't show up to camp. He didn't want to be here, so we moved him. Amari Cooper was there every day. Coach Gruden had an opportunity to see him work in practice every day. He had an opportunity to see him work in the game. And for some reason, Coach Gruden wanted to move on. Now, does Amari Cooper have big play capability? Does he have the ability to break the game wide open? Sure, absolutely. His ability has never been questioned. It's the consistency that's been questioned endlessly since Amari Cooper's been into the league, because we'll see him have games of 140, and then the next game he have 15 yards. He'll have a game of 118, 120, and then he'll have 3 catches for 27 yards. So it's not his ability that's going to be questioned. The consistency. What is he going to give you game in and game out? That's what the Dallas Cowboys fans are expecting. And I know you sitting over there, you hoping. You just better hope you don't get the Amari Cooper of this year and you get the Amari Cooper of the first 2 years.
You take a day off and you're like a mind reader.
I know you.
Are you
I
reading my
know you.
notes?
Yep.
Are you stealing from me? I don't know.
I can't read that mess.
All I know is that I was dozing off over here listening to your lifeless, unenthusiastic, monotone delivery. You got to have some energy when you talk about Amari Cooper to America's team.
No. Oh, you that excited about it?
I am excited. But every night I get more excited because the more I think about it, the more I love this. They just went out and got a 2-time Pro Bowler who's all of 24 years of age. And he is completely healthy. He was in concussion protocol, but he says he's completely out of that. But he's had no knees, no shoulders, no Achilles, no nothing. He is just good to go. And I have talked to him. I had one session with him on the other network, and I found him to be a really bright young man and a quick study. And I think he will just pick up this Cowboy offense lickety-split, and now perfectly right on schedule. They do have a bye week. What a great time to go acquire the missing link. Go get him so that you can at least have some extra practice.
But Dak said he wasn't a miss. Dak said he's not a magic pill. Now, what did you say?
We pulled that quote a little bit out of context because the story that I read, and I believe it's the Dallas Morning News, the early quotes, the higher quotes are, Dak was talking about how excited the whole football team is, and I'm going to use one quote out of there. Guys on defense are excited. The DBs are excited. The defensive back.
Yeah, because they tired of carrying you.
Okay, so the point is that that's what I tried to tell you. Finally, Jerry Jones actually woke up and did something.
Okay.
Again, did he plunge? Yes. Did he overpay for Amari Cooper? Yes, he did. I said, I'd give a 4th rounder. He gave a 1st. Were the Eagles poised to give a 2nd? Had they offered a 2nd? Were the Redskins going to get in the bidding war? Yes, they were. So he just closed the deal. And I say, thank you, Jerry Jones, because he sent a message to a locker room that is struggling. Because to your point, the defense is 2nd in points allowed. They're hanging in, and the offense can't close deals on the road. 0-4 on the road. But if you have a playmaker, you have a real live Pro Bowl #1 receiver who's athletic, he's a glider, he's got that easy deep speed, he can run by people before they even know it. He'll run past you. Okay? So the whole locker room, according to Dak, is excited. And he also went on to say that after watching him getting to throw to him on the practice field, again against air, I think it was 7-on-7, He said some of the things he does just jump out. Well, obviously they do because he's got this collection of number threes, Allen Hurns, Deontay Thompson. You're out there.
He's the best route runner Dak's ever thrown to.
By far. And we know Dez didn't run routes, right?
Right.
And again, Dak said, it's like getting a new toy. So then he tried to temper all this by saying, hey, hold on, this is later in the interview, according to the Dallas Morning News. This isn't a magic pill. One player isn't going to make all these errors that we've been making go away. Well, he's not. The one guy is going to keep Dak from fumbling at the goal line if he gets careless with the football. Okay? So the quarterback is taking a little pressure off Amari and saying, well, put it back on me.
He can't because they made a trade for him during the middle of the season. So he's telling you, anytime you make a trade, that guy automatically, you're saying, he's the guy. He's the piece. But let me ask you this, Skip Bayless. You say Amari comes in, he doesn't have any knee, no hip, no shoulder, no injury, he's out of concussion protocol. Why the inconsistency?
I can't explain it. I don't know. Did he, again, 2 years, big time. When you're a rookie in the NFL and you make the Pro Bowl, is that not pretty great?
Yes.
Did you make the Pro Bowl your rookie year? No, you didn't. Because it's hard.
Huh?
You made the team.
Yeah, exactly.
You did.
Start there.
Okay, so he made the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
And then he slipped in
Well,
his
second
third
year he made the Pro Bowl
That's
also.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He slipped in his third year, and then he really slipped this year. He had a couple of 100-yard games, but you failed to point out that there was a story, you were off yesterday, but there was a story out of Oakland that he had asked out. So it wasn't like he was happy and they dumped him, although I think John Gruden was out on him because of his inconsistency. And I told you, he's not your typical alpha male diva receiver. He's not in your face. He's a quiet guy. He plays sort of quietly. His body language is not loud. And I think John Gruden said, well, I need every down intensity, and I don't see it from 89. And he wants to start over with his guys. Khalil Mack, I don't think he saw every down intensity from Khalil Mack, and he said, I can do better than that. Can he? Well, that's highly debatable and probably highly doubtful. But he said, I can do better than Khalil Mack or Amari Cooper. And I think he's about to say I can do better than that quarterback that he has.
Well, I've been out on the quarterback for a long time.
All right, you have. I give you that.
But here, the thing is, Skip, is that the one thing that Coach Gruden is going to have to understand, you can't coach every player the exact same way. Some guys you can yell at, Skip, and they can roll it off and they go do their job. Some guys will shut you out. Some guys will become confrontational with you.
They will.
So Coach Gruden is under the old school. You know, Coach Landry coached everybody. I mean, you know, they were hard. They grind you. They ground everybody. But in today's game, these players are different now.
I know. And listen, I know John, and he's about, what's John, like 5'9". He's got a little Napoleon going on because he wants to get up in the face of guys who are like a foot taller. He coaches hard. And he coaches profanely. And he coaches to get under your skin and to push your deepest button. And some buttons cannot be reached that way. As you know.
You're absolutely right.
So I don't know, but he's going to have to go find the guys who will respond to that kind of coaching. Is it too old school? Is it not new school enough?
Well, I tell you what, Skip, you can't keep giving away your best players.
I agree.
Because at some point in time, that comes up. Because think about what you just hope, Skip, that when you draft, especially this high, because Khalil Mack, I think, was the fourth pick, Amari Cooper was the fourth pick. When you draft this high, you're like, man, I hope we got a guy for 10 years and this guy can play. Well, Khalil Mack not only could play, he was Defensive Player of the Year.
I got
Amari Cooper went to 2 Pro Bowls.
Okay, I'm with you, but if you have 5 number 1 picks in the next 2 years, you could wind up with the number 1 overall pick because you could trade for it. So you could go to the top and start over.
Skip, my grandma used to always say, boy, the devil you know is better than the one you don't. I know what I had with Khalil Mack. You don't know what you're going to get with these prospects.
You don't.
They might turn out to be, and one of them might be Khalil Mack. He might be even better than Khalil Mack. You might have the next Carson Wentz or Jared Goff at the quarterback position. Or you might get the next franchise old lineman or defensive lineman or something. You never know. I knew from Khalil Mack, I'm going to get me double-digit sacks. I'm going to get me an all-pro, Pro Bowl player. That's what I know I had with him.
Okay. So I like 2 other things that Amari said about Dak and America's team.
What did he say?
Amari said, I really like the way Dak throws the ball. It's a good ball, meaning to catch.
So what he said about Derek Carr?
Well, I don't know what he said.
You know what he said.
Okay, but the more important point is, did Des Bryant ever say that about Dak's ball, easy to catch? I never heard that.
It doesn't matter. He was dropping them anyway.
Okay, he was dropping them anyway, but he never seemed to love them, and they never seemed to get on any same page. So this is a good start when the new receiver, the new number one says, I really like the way, you know how some balls are easy to catch and some balls, John's balls always looked hard to catch to me. I don't know. They did because he just threw too hard.
But Skip, here's the thing. What did Dez say? When Tony Romo was working his way back, Dez says he looks like the same Tony Romo.
He did.
Even when he had Dak throwing the ball, Dak was the starter. He's talking about how good Tony Romo looked running the scout team or running or just throwing against air. That's what Dez was doing because Dez knew Tony Romo was going to put the ball up no matter what. And Dak, they had coached Dak to get away from that. We're better. We don't have to force the ball. We can run the ball, and if it's not there, don't force it. Well, they took Zeke away, and Dak had to go against what he had been taught earlier, force the ball. He's like, you see what it's getting me? Y'all got Shannon Sharpe giving me a flunking grade because I'm out here throwing the Dez in double coverage because you say, he could go up and get it, he's that athletic. Well, maybe he used to be with Tony Romo, but he's not that way with me, and I'm looking horrible throwing him the football.
Okay, I agree with that. So the final non-diva quote from Amari Cooper was, and I'll read it again, I bring a lot of playmaking ability. I can stretch the defense, but then there's a but to this. All those things, I will leave that for you guys to see. How many diva number one receivers would make a statement like that? Because he just finally said, I don't want to talk about me. Let me just go show you.
Yeah, I want to talk. Okay. Hold on. Are you asking me about me? Or are you asking me about somebody else? Because if you ask me about me, I'm going to talk about me.
Well,
you ask me about somebody else?
Wait, we know that.
Oh, I got to talk about me.
We really know that.
What am I supposed to do?
America knows that.
What am I supposed to do, Skip?
Well, you're a diva tight end.
No. Jenny, I believe in conspicuous consumption. You know what that means, Skip? If you have it, you flaunt it.
Yeah.
I'm good. I know I'm good.
We noticed.
You watch you look at IG. Them girls be on them girls that have nice figures and guys that have nice money. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Got bundles of money up there. You flaunted, Skip Bayless. So, Amari Cooper, if you that dog, you let him know.
He's not that dog. He's not that dog. He's not built that way.
Whoa, wait a minute.
That's not
you
his
want a guy on your
DNA.
team? You want a guy on your team that's not that dog?
I want a guy who just does it.
No. You told me you like cold-blooded assassins. That's why you love Michael Jordan. That's why you love Kobe Bryant, because they're assassins. LeBron James doesn't have that assassin gene
I'm not
in
putting
it.
Amari Cooper in the Michael Jordan category.
No, but you say you like them dogs.
Well, who doesn't like them dogs?
Well, that ain't what Amari is.
You know, he just runs sweet routes.
Oh, so that's what you want a route runner.
No, I just want a route runner. I want somebody who just glides by the defense because all of a sudden, my defense is excited, my offensive line is excited, Zeke is excited, and the opposing defensive coordinator is not excited because he's second-guessing himself, saying, I don't know if we can just lock everybody up and press man and blitz every down and run blitz. You know, like you can't do that anymore.
Why not?
Because you can't lock him down in single coverage. You just can't.
Well, the Raiders, seemingly, I guess you could, because the Raiders got rid of him for some reason, Jen.
Well, I mean, maybe he needed a fresh start too.
Yeah, maybe he did.
It
Well, if he
re-energized you guys.
What guy you know that's doing what he's supposed to do, getting a fresh start? What guy you know that's producing like he's supposed to, like the fourth pick in the draft, like a two-time Pro Bowl player getting a fresh start somewhere else?
You got a fresh start right here, and you're producing.
Threw that right
and
back
I'm
at you,
impressive.
Shannon.
There you go. You
Right
already,
back
like
at you.
You got jokes this morning.
I got jokes.
Okay.
You were
That
gone,
wasn't a
he
joke.
saved up for you.
That was the truth.
It is the truth, Skip Bayless.
Only
You did.
truth here. Steph Curry went off last night. That is something that's true. Is he trying to make an early season statement? We'll discuss what he did next.
No mercy.
And how about this? Steph Curry had a career night at the Wizards' expense yesterday. He dropped three-pointers everywhere on the court, finishing with 11 total, 51 points in the blowout win. Steph also moved up to 5th on the all-time three-pointers list, and he did it all without playing in the fourth quarter. Steph has been on fire this season, scoring at least 29 points in every game so far. Not a bad start. Skip, what are you seeing from Steph?
I'm going to start with what I saw last night. I believe last night had a lot to do with what Blake Griffin did the night before when he scored 50 points. And just a quick aside, back in my days on the other network, ahead of the 2009 draft, I battled day after day about how great Blake Griffin is going to be in the NBA. I continue to say.
You mean Steph Curry?
I mean, no.
You mean Steph was going to be great in the NBA?
No, Blake. Everybody was on Blake's bandwagon, and I wasn't. And I'm an Oklahoma fan, so I'd watched him not for 1 year at Oklahoma. He stayed for a second year at Oklahoma, which is never the best sign for a can't-miss superstar.
Right.
He wasn't a one and done.
Right.
And Blake Griffin didn't make a shot in college beyond about 3 feet. So I kept saying, no, this little guy at Davidson, he's not that little, he's 6'3", he's going to be a great three-point shooter, and he has elite point guard skills and handle that nobody was giving him credit for. So I'm saying I'm picking him first, and Blake went first, and I'll be the first to say he's been better than I thought he was going to be because he has taught himself to shoot a shot.
Yes, he has.
Right?
He got three-point range now.
Hey, he's got range. You want range? I'll give you Steph Curry because we've never seen anything like Steph's range. So I believe that Steph, after he fell to 7th in that draft, I think it really stuck in his craw. And I believe that part of the motivation last night, that it was no coincidence that Steph went for 51 points after Blake the night before had gone for 50. And remember, Steph did it on a shot late in the third quarter that put them up 115-93, and he was done for the night on his 51st point. And I believe there was method to that madness. I also believe, just another quick aside, you know I play golf, your brother plays golf. It's the most humbling, humiliating game on this planet. And what happened to Steph Curry just before camp opened, back in August? He tried to play in a web.com event up in the Bay Area, and he shot 71 in the first round, and he's got illusions like he can be a professional golfer. And he lost it in the second round very publicly. He could not drive the ball anywhere but in the deep rough. And he just couldn't get it back. And he shot 86, and he finished dead last in the tournament. And I think it shattered his illusions of what he could be as a professional golfer. And I'm seeing a recommitment from him because he's on an MVP early season tear right now because he's averaged 35 a game, and he's shooting 52% from three. He's 33 of 63. That's impossibly great. Last night, he made 4 threes from 30-plus feet, which he's never done in his career. That's crazy. That's Twilight Zone. That's somewhere else. And there was the one shot that he made after the whistle blew where he just went and just threw it up in the air.
Touched the Raptors and
just swish it. This stuff's crazy. And his teammates are yelling at him to just shoot it, which tells you what that Golden State culture is like. If you got the hot hand, they all just say, go, just shoot it.
Skip, I believe this has more to do with is that when we talk about the best players in the world, Steph Curry's name is never mentioned. It's LeBron James, it's Kevin Durant. And he says, hold up, wait a minute. It's James Harden. It's Anthony Davis.
It is.
He's like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm a 3-time champ. And the last guy.
2-time MVP.
And the last guy to win 2 MVPs back to back. And one of them being unanimous was me. So while y'all keep on bumping, I'm talking about these 6'8" guys and above. James Harden, I think, is like 6'5". What about me? Did you forget what I'm capable of doing? Now, Skip, this performance last night, I think it was great. I believe when we started with Steph Curry became a household name is when he dropped 54 in the Garden. Because dropping 54 in that arena, in one of these venues, because see, Skip, I believe Jordan could have dropped 63 at Chicago Stadium, and it wouldn't have carried the same weight as dropping 63 in the Garden. And Steph Curry scoring 51 last night in grand fashion, it was unbelievable. But dropping 54 in the Garden, Michael Jordan dropped 55 to double nickel game in the Garden.
He did.
It resonates. That this was unbelievable. But Steph Curry's like, hold on, guys, y'all forgot about me. Again, I told you, Skip, I believe Kevin Durant is a better player than Steph Curry. But I believe Steph Curry is more important to what the Warriors need to do. Because, Skip, once he get going like this, could you feel the electricity in that building? Kevin Durant makes shots, crowd is loving it. But when this guy starts doing this, it takes them, they're unbeatable. This is why, unless Kevin Durant breaks this thing up, I don't see a team that can beat him for the foreseeable future. Because while we're not talking about it, Kevin Durant missed 5 shots last night. He was 13 of 18. He dropped 30. He dropped 30 points, and nobody mentioned it. What they have is these guys that can go fuego. Because remember, just like what last year, Skip? Clay dropped 60 in 29 minutes and didn't play the fourth quarter. So let that sink in for a second. Steph Curry there have been 13 games, 13 games in which a player made 11 or more threes. Steph Curry has 6 of those. None of the other players have more than 1. Skip, he's the greatest shooter. You could never. And that's what people are like, well, if you had one shot for your life, I want Jordan or I want Larry Bird. One shot for my life, I want Steph Curry taking it, especially if it has to be from distance. Anything 15 and beyond, I'm taking 30 from Golden State to shoot the shot. I'll give you Michael, I'll give you Kobe, I'll give you...
Well, I mean, if it has to be from 30, I'm taking that guy.
Give me 15 and beyond.
Well, if you're just saying one possession for your life where the guy can create a shot.
One shot.
It's not even...
No, I want one shot.
Well, I'm just saying, one shot, let's say there's 10 seconds left.
Give me Steph.
And you're inbounding from midcourt.
Steph. I don't care.
Seriously?
I don't care if you got the ball in the Bay Area and you got the ball in the Bay Area.
You're doing so well until that
I
point.
don't care if the ball's in San Francisco.
You made so many great points, and then you just lost it.
That got Skip.
One shot for your life? Michael Jordan's, I want the ball in his hands. You know why? Because he's not afraid of the free throw line. He'll get the 2 free throws.
Michael Jordan ain't shooting that better the free throw line than this guy in his life.
No, but he'll make them when they count.
Oh, and he won't.
Unlike the new
we don't talk.
Lakers.
No, Skip, I'm not going to let you do that. This is not a LeBron conversation. I'm not breaking him up. I didn't break him up.
You did too. You said he gets tired of hearing that LeBron and others are better players.
But
You said the name LeBron
I
James.
did, but what you're trying to do, you're trying to see every time. I see what you're trying to do, Skip, baby.
You're not seeing it.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do anything.
Yes, you're doing it. You're right. You're not trying to. You're doing
Well,
it.
you lost it. You went completely over the edge.
Nobody-
In blatant Jordan disrespect. You can't say Steph is going to take the last shot over Michael Jordan.
Oh, yes, I can.
You just can't.
Yes, I can. I just did it.
He goes
I'm
hot
gonna say
and
it again.
cold. I'll take the percentage of Michael Jordan taking a 15-foot jump shot.
Like I said.
Unlike the one LeBron turned down with Steph guarding him in game 1 at the end of the game at Oracle.
I prefaced it by saying,
You
like
lost
you
it.
said, like a caveat.
Yeah.
You like to use the word caveat.
I think you just got carried away with your
I-
argument, and you just went
No,
completely
I
over
said-
the edge into, I want him taking the last shot.
I said anything.
Wrong.
I said anything beyond 15 feet.
Beyond 15 feet?
Yes.
We'll make it 30 feet.
No,
I'll
no,
give
no,
it
no,
to you.
no. I want 15. Skip, we've never seen nobody get hot like this kid. The only guy that can get hot like he can is Klay Thompson. That's it. And they're on the same team.
And by the way, if it has to be a 3-point shot for your life, I want Larry Bird taking mine.
No, stop it, Skip.
I do.
Stop it, Skip.
Listen, you want to talk about cold-blooded?
Skip, he was. Skip, did you know I was the biggest Larry Bird fan?
I know you
I had
were.
posters. I had the
No.
shirts. But Larry can't shoot like this. Skip, we never seen anything like
No, we
this.
haven't, but you're talking about one shot for your life. He does go into slumps.
I don't care if it's one shot, Jenny, or if it's 100.
And you know what? If we start tearing apart his postseason resume, I can tear it all to pieces because it hadn't been that great.
Skip, the last 2 years, the dude's been unbelievable.
Okay, but what about Game 7 against your guy?
Yeah,
that was pathetic.
Yeah. Skip, everybody does it. Oh, Lord. Skip, everybody is not going to average a triple-double in a Game 7. You're going to have peaks and valleys.
Remember the behind-the-back pass he just threw in the 7th row? I'm saying, what are you doing?
But that's who he is, Skip.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to accept, because all those bad shots, the shots that he shoots, everybody else, you tell him no. But you don't tell him no because every shot is a good shot for him. That's the shot he wants to shoot. That's a bad shot. Oh, you want him to take that shot? No, you don't. The only shot I want Steph to take is no shot. I don't want him to shoot because he's the only guy, Skip, that every time he puts the ball up, you actually think it's going in. No matter how far he shoots it from. He can shoot the ball from half court. You're like, it's going in.
Okay, but he is capable, you know and I know, of going 4 for 14, and then you have a chance. Yeah. All of a sudden, you got a shot. But the other guy, the 7-foot guy, the monster, number 35.
Oh, you mean
that guy?
You mean the one that ran from the shot in Game 3 against Houston?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. No, Skip. Don't show your hands like that. No. I was just looking.
Okay. Wait. And then what happened? Did he not rectify that situation in Game 3 of the finals and back-to-back finals?
Oh, so
did he run from those shots?
So let me get this right. So I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So if you run from a shot or you miss a shot, you can rectify it. Kind of like LeBron did, even though he clanked it and Ray Allen saved him in Game 6. Did he not rectify it in Game 7?
My team was shot through the heart.
Why would they be shot? Hold on. You just told me, why would your team be shot? Because remember I told you, LeBron was deflated.
Did Game 7 go to the wire? No.
Yes, it did.
It did
yes,
not.
It did.
He didn't have a last-second do-or-die
shot. No,
shot.
LeBron had to hit that. You remember they was only up 2. And LeBron had to hit that 18-footer from the top of the key on Kawhi.
He was good that night. He was.
He was. And all you could muster to say he was good.
I give you that he was good, but listen, Kevin Durant, he is the cold-blooded assassin on this team.
Yeah.
You need the shot made. You like last-second shot. I'll take Kevin Durant over Steph Curry. I will.
Okay, since Kevin Durant's been there, look at their record without KD and look at their record without Steph.
Well, I don't get the difference between most valuable and most important. It's either one or the other.
No.
Go for it.
No.
Take a stand.
I did.
The most valuable player is 35.
Well, the most valuable player is 23.
No,
The
35.
most valuable player is 23.
35 is
there's no doubt
back-to-back.
about it.
Who was the Finals MVP the last 2 years? It was 35.
LeBron been there, done that. Been there, done that.
Yeah, but
with 4 MVPs.
But LeBron was in the Finals and he didn't been there, done that.
Yeah.
He got outplayed in back-to-back home game threes in the Finals by Kevin Durant.
I sure wish old LeBron had him a Steph Curry last year. I wonder what would happen if
He
had
did.
Steph Curry.
He had him a Kyle Korver. So what you told me.
Skip Bayless, you would sit there with a straight face?
Well, he's what, the 6th best all-time three-point shooter?
Who's
Kyle
the best?
Korver? I don't know.
You know what Skip Bayless?
Reggie Miller? I don't know who it is.
Oh, so you taking Reggie Miller over Steph Curry?
Nope.
Okay, exactly.
I'm just doing numbers, stats.
Skip, when there's a legitimate chance that by the time Steph Curry is done, the dude could legitimately have 4,000 threes.
He could.
4,000!
On a nightly basis, he is the greatest shooter we've ever seen in the regular season. In the postseason, he hasn't been all-time great.
No, because here's the thing, because you don't get those kind of possessions. The game is not as up and down in the postseason as it is in the regular season. But Skip, he averaged 29. He almost averaged a triple-double the past couple of finals. He averaged, 30 last year? And Kevin Durant won the MVP. But had they given it to Steph Curry, would you have been upset if they gave Steph Curry the finals?
Yeah, I would have. I would have been very upset.
You know why? Let me tell you why you'd have been upset. Because because if Steph Curry would have got it, it would have hurt your argument that Kevin Durant is the best player.
Well, it helped my argument.
No, it didn't.
Because it was the right way to go. It was
that's okay.
what happened.
Steph Curry, I got you.
We're done with Steph.
Would you believe Kevin Durant's averaging through the first, 5 games? 27, 8, and 6. Those are LeBron-esque numbers in L.A., and nobody's talking about Kevin Durant because everybody's talking about 30, and they should be.
Yes.
Yeah. But don't sleep on this guy.
He's tired of everybody talking about all those other guys other than himself. And Steph's like, did y'all forget about me, what I'm capable of doing?
Well, pretty soon Kevin's going to get tired of it.
Well, yeah, he's going to get tired and dip. That's what he's going to get tired of.
One person we are not tired of talking about is LeBron. Is Chris Broussard ready to jump back on the Lakers bandwagon? We're going back to him, and we will ask that next.
No mercy.
So LeBron and the Lakers, they desperately needed a win last night after starting the season 0-3, and they showed up big in Phoenix. LeBron scored 19 points, added 10 assists. He sat out the fourth quarter. In total, 7 Lakers scored in double figures in the blowout win. And next up for LA, a home game tonight against the undefeated Nuggets. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good to have you back. It was fun time yesterday. All right. You predicted 53 wins for the Lakers before we got this started. Are you back on the bandwagon?
I was never off the bandwagon.
Yesterday you were a little off.
I just pointed out the challenges that I was like Luke. Luke went off in the team meeting yesterday. I was just like, hey, you got to start playing some defense. And by the way, your roster doesn't make sense, but you got the best player in the world, so I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
Second best player.
That
Go ahead.
that he can put it together. I saw you before. Who's the best player on the Warriors now? We're saying, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's another subject. I'm not going to overreact to beating the Suns. I mean, the Suns, they're talented, but they're young and they're just bad. That's just the bottom line. They're not a very good team. Obviously, the Knights a much bigger test for the Lakers because Denver's legit, So, and if you look at the first 3 losses, we talked about it yesterday. They were in every game. They just didn't close.
Right.
Did not.
So yesterday or last night they did what they were supposed to do.
They didn't need to close because they did it
Exactly.
in the second quarter.
And you routed a bad team.
Yeah.
One of the reasons they had trouble closing in the first 3 games was because late in the games you saw LeBron was pretty much handling the ball, and I think the other guys didn't really know what to do.
Stand around looking.
Right, where to go, because earlier in the game, LeBron's a little more off the ball,
Yep.
and other guys are handling and stuff. So what I saw last night that I liked, that was encouraging, is LeBron handled the ball more. Like he was kind of basically playing point guard, a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
And I think the guys are starting to get a little more used to that. Lonzo is showing me, even though he only hit 1 3-pointer last night, he can play off the ball. And, you know, even though he's been a point guard, he's not a ball-dominant point guard. He's always been a guy that gets rid of it.
Yeah.
And if he can shoot it, which he's been shooting it pretty well.
I mean, he's 41%.
Yeah, that he can play off the ball.
Yep.
Obviously, I love putting Josh Hart in the starting lineup. He's better than KCP. KCP could be a spark off the bench,
Right.
but Hart can shoot the threes.
And let him get those minutes to build.
Right.
You know, I mean, hey, you know what KCP is at this point of his career. Let Josh Hart get those minutes and go.
And he hit 4 threes, so that's another floor spacer and shooter with LeBron. And Kuzma hasn't shot it well from 3 this year. I think he's 25%. But he's a good shooter.
Right.
Like, he's a guy you have to respect at the three-point line. So that's another. So you had 3 guys with LeBron that theoretically can shoot the 3 and keep the defense honest. So if they get more used to him playing point, I think, look, he's going to do everything, LeBron. That's just how he plays. But I think it's kind of challenging to bounce back and forth with him off the ball, him on the ball, him, you know. And so they may have to make a decision there. But last night, with just what I said, the challenge remains, though, Rondo wasn't playing. And he's not like Lonzo off the ball.
You talked the word
Right?
out about my
So-
brain. Ingram's not playing.
Exactly. Ingram, like, I love Kuzma just because he can spread the floor for LeBron and shoot it. But when Ingram's not coming off the bench, I don't see that. So that's going to be another challenge. And so it's still a work in progress, but they seem to be adjusting to some.
It is a work in progress, and that's what I told Skip earlier. I'm not putting a whole lot of stock in beating a very bad team. This is what you were supposed to be. I'd have been more concerned had they only beaten Phoenix by 5 points. Now I'd have been really concerned because I haven't seen Phoenix play. They're not a very good basketball team. Again, like you said, Chris, the true test comes tonight because the Nuggets are for real. And they'll get up and down with you. You want to run? Oh, you want 110 possessions? Is that what you want? Okay, we'll give you all that. We'll give you
I'm not
150.
sure they will do
Oh,
that.
yeah, they will.
Because that would be a bad idea.
But here's the thing.
They'll get run. Yes, they'll get run off the
But here's the
Staples floor
difference
if they
is
do that.
their 110 possessions,
Yep.
they're going to get up 35 threes. And they're going to make 16 of those. That's a whole different ball game. And they got that big guy, Skip Bayless. I don't know if you noticed it. Old Joker? Yeah, man, he for real. He for real. He can do it all. Yeah, he fundamentally sound.
He's a point center.
Are you trying to back out of your bet?
No!
You're making a case you shouldn't have made the bet.
Do you remember last year what LeBron did to the Joker? Okay, you remember. LeBron still got those big guys. If you're 6'10", you're a foreign big man.
You told me that he had a better supporting cast in Cleveland than he has now. That's what you told me.
But what that
Did
guy-
you say that?
Yes, yes. I don't miss a trick.
I
here.
love the proof.
Nothing.
Listen, which guy on their roster is better than Kevin Love?
Kevin Love. There's guys okay, Kevin Love's better. He's the second best player. But
Cleveland
still,
won a game?
after
They're
that,
not going with you.
right.
Cleveland
Kevin
won a
Love's
game?
gonna put
I
up his
don't know.
numbers,
But
but they're gonna be horrible.
But we said that. That just goes to that's what makes LeBron so
and he
great.
shoots a low percentage too.
That team might win 15 games, 20 games this year. It was in the finals, and all they lost was one player. Let that sink in for But we're not talking about that, Skip. You keep trying to distract me. Let me get my point out.
What point?
The point is that the Lakers, Chris and I, we're not putting a whole lot of stock in the Lakers beating a bad team.
You want to, but you're not.
No.
You know it's not smart.
It might not last 24 hours.
The bandwagon, look, my 51 wins gonna be that thing looking real tough right now.
Really?
I'd have felt a lot better
looking
because
shaky.
really we should be 3-1. Really, we should have been 3.
I can make a case you should be 4-0. Seriously.
okay, lose the
I'm
point.
Could
serious.
be, but you'll take but you're right.
But
They
you
were
can't lose at home. I mean, 'cause think about it. They lost at home to the Spurs. That lost by 20 last night to the Pacers.
At
they,
home.
They lost
In
at
San
home.
Antonio.
They lost at home to the Rockets, who got blown off their own court. So those are games that you should win. And I think as they get better, get more familiar with playing with each other. But it's going to be a challenge, Skip. It's going to be a challenge. And like you said, all this thing was looking good. Lonzo playing off the ball, Lance Stevenson dancing with the ball. everybody can get the ball off the rim and get it up the court, what happened when Rondo come back?
Right.
What happened when Brandon Ingram come back? Because unless Luke's going to bring those guys off the bench, which I don't see happening, then what? Guess what? We're going to find out in about another week or so. Rondo got another tonight and another game, I think, on Saturday. He'll be back. We're going to see what that...
I think he's only got one more game out, right? It was 3?
Yeah.
4 for Ingram. So Ingram's got
3
2
and 4,
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or is he get...
Well, this is the first game.
This is the first of the 3.
I think if Lonzo keeps shooting it well, I think they should leave Lonzo in the start.
Let him play.
Yeah.
So I said on yesterday's show, and you know this because you admitted early in the show that you were watching carefully, even though you weren't here yesterday.
Yeah.
But you saw you didn't miss a trick on yesterday's show, right?
Yep. You tried to
Okay.
cozy up with Jenny, but she wouldn't have it.
Okay.
I saw
She did have it.
Yes, she did. But
Did she accept
I
this
was
month?
the one on the outside.
You
I
know-
saw it.
Hey, but guess what? Skip, what you didn't see is that when she fist bumped you with the left, she had her fingers crossed with the right. But I ain't.
Okay. But what
We'll
you didn't
never
see,
know.
what you didn't see is I had my fingers crossed.
Oh,
So it's canceled. It got completely
fun while
canceled.
it lasted.
So what I said yesterday was that the suspensions clarified a few nights for Luke, and it took him off a hook that's going to get hotter and hotter. And all of a sudden, he could play a couple of players high minutes that he might not. He'd have to make big decisions on. And I'm with you. Lonzo loves LeBron and vice versa. You can tell LeBron sees him as like a quasi-son, you know, and they vibe off each other because they both have high basketball IQs. Lonzo not quite in LeBron's league, but he plays everything the right way, and LeBron can trust he's going to defend, he's going to steal the ball, he's going to get a rebound here or there, he's going to do the right little things that add up to big things.
Right.
And when he steps into his threes, he makes threes. He also is going to lead the league in three-point air balls because he's off to the races. Every night he shoots 2 air balls. And I told
he's
Shannon
2 for 2.
earlier, he either rips it or he misses by 3 feet. And I don't know how you can do that. And it's all about conviction because when he's not, sometimes LeBron, who's the best ever at throwing the skip pass, the complete cross court, and it comes so fast, it's like he's not even looking. He goes, whoosh, and he just flicks it, and it goes like 40 feet across the court. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm open.
Yeah.
Should I shoot this? And Lonzo's a spot-up shooter. He wasn't last year.
No.
Okay, and so he hesitates for a second. When he hesitates, he is lost because he's going to airball it. But when he catches it and steps into it, even in clutch situations, he's made a couple of big ones so
And guess
far.
what you saw last night? Him put the ball on the floor and drive to the
He
basket.
did, and he can.
And he finished at the rim. Instead, he wasn't looking to get to the rim and just kick it.
Okay.
It's like, I'm finishing this.
Okay, so I'm a little more bullish on even off the Phoenix win. I liked what I saw, but I've liked a lot of what I've seen from this team. It's a little better than I thought it was going to be. I said 47 wins. I'll stick by that. But they have impressed me because they're pushing it at an historical rate. I've never seen like this. They're averaging 71 points in the paint a game, which is, again, the Pelicans led last year at 52 points a game in the paint. So they're shattering that mold from last year because they are pushing it so hard on the break. It's not because JaVale's dominating in the paint.
And you can
It's
understand why
because they're getting open break looks in the paint, right?
And you can understand the Pelicans leading. They got Boogie Cousins,
Sure,
16. They got Anthony Davis.
but that was a different, doing it a different way,
Exactly,
upside down
exactly.
from this. They're scoring in the paint in set off half-court offense. Okay, so I said before the year, this is going to be the most fun offense to watch in all of basketball, and it is. I was wildly entertained last night by what I saw, especially in the second quarter. But who was the igniter? The last person I thought is Lance Stevenson comes off the bench in the mid-first quarter, and they're still struggling. They're down 1 at this point. Lance Stevenson? And I tweeted, I never thought I would see the night where Lance Stevenson carried LeBron's team because I never thought they'd be on the same team to start with. And he comes in and plays 11 straight minutes and scores 12 points with 4 rebounds and 6 assists.
And he starts the second quarter with LeBron.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, he let him have 3 more minutes.
Yes.
But it was the turning point of the night, albeit against probably the worst team in the West. But it changed everything. He just ignited them, and then they launched from that point on. And Phoenix just kind of rolled over and said, we're not good enough. And I was but Devin Booker he just never got going. He couldn't. And Trevor Ariza looked like he's semi-retired, like he got his money and he just said, whatever.
It seemed like that. That's why LeBron wanted a guy like Lance, because
Yeah.
he is a playmaker. And you saw it last night. He certainly Kyrie obviously was a playmaker,
But only
more
for
so
himself.
for himself, more so. But if you want to say Kyrie was like that, LeBron hasn't had a guy like that since Kyrie that can make, that he trusts to make plays. Wade was somewhat like that, but that was long ago. So, yeah, that's why LeBron wanted those guys. But last night also, they hit the three.
Yeah. They did.
I mean, they weren't great, 35%, which is bad for most. And you can live with that. They've been 30 for the whole year, and that's gone up because of last night. But you can live. If they can shoot 35% and hit about 10, that's good enough because they're going to get so much in transition.
Can you live with LeBron being 4 for 24 from 3?
Skip,
17%.
Well, see, the good news though, even you know this, he's gonna improve on that.
You would think because he had 1 year in Miami, he shot 41%.
He's gonna come up from that. So
what did he shoot last year? So he's gonna shoot that again.
You think so?
Yeah, he's gonna shoot 80% for the free throw
He is
line.
not.
Yes.
You're gonna lose that so bad.
Is he shooting 80% right now?
Did he shoot 80% late in the game against the
We ain't
Spurs?
talking about that. We're talking about right now his overall free throw percentage.
Yes, he is, but it's early, and history is on my side on that one, just like it's on yours.
Tough.
80.
LeBron got it.
It is early, but next we're
You
going
already lost this last year, too.
I'm going to win it back this year.
Okay.
That's how I betting, baby. They get my money on one thing, I go bet something else and get it back.
Does it work that way? I don't know.
No.
Debatable, yeah. Okay, we're going to look ahead to the future next. Where will KD, where will AD, and where will Kyrie be next summer?
A lot of Ds.
Lot of Ds, lot of names. Where are they going to go? We'll tell you next.
No mercy.
Well, even though the NBA season just started, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, some league execs are already thinking about next season. They feel that Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, and DeMarcus Cousins will all be on different teams next summer. Anthony Davis can't be a free agent until 2020, but teams are lining up for a potential trade. And although Kyrie Irving said he's committed to re-signing with the Celtics, plenty of execs are still putting him in the free agent column. We're joined once again by Chris Broussard. A lot of names there, a lot of rumors. What is your gut feeling on some of those rumors?
Well, the guy I have the strongest gut feeling on is a free agent in 2020, and that's Anthony Davis. I think he's going to end up with the Lakers. He signed with Rich Paul. Now, I know there was a Nike deal, shoes and all that helped him go to Rich, too. But we know Rich is LeBron's agent and Clutch, and I'm not saying Rich is going to direct him there, like make him go there, but he knew what he was doing when he signed with Rich Paul. He knew that the connection to the Lakers and LeBron and all that. So the thing is, it may have to get ugly since he's not a free agent until 2020, because they'll essentially, if he wants to be in LA next season, this season he's going to be in New Orleans the whole year. If he wants to be in LA next season, they're going to have to go to New Orleans and say, look, just like Jimmy Butler. I don't think he will hold out and get like that, but they're going to have to say, look, he's not re-signing. He wants to go to the Lakers and try to scare off other teams. And then the Lakers would probably make a trade with him because they got so many pieces they can get rid of. And that I think that could happen.
What pieces would it require?
Well, it requires a strong word because New Orleans, how much leverage will they have? If they tell him, look, it's Lakers or bust, and they don't get, now, will a team take a chance? We saw Oklahoma City do it with Paul George. What if Kawhi stays in Toronto? And I'll get to him in a minute. But if he stays in Toronto, now teams are going to be emboldened to say, hey, we saw it with two guys. They stayed, so let me take a chance. But I'd say Brandon Ingram could be one, especially depending on what he does this year. He has not off to a great start. Let's see how he plays. You mentioned Ingram and Kuzma. That seems like a lot, but it is Anthony Davis.
Not for a 25-year-old.
Right, it is Anthony Davis.
Okay, just in a vacuum with no strings attached and no leverage going on. In a vacuum, it would require Ingram, Kuzma, and Josh Hart to me. That would be equitable. Well, it's just...
It depends on how much, again, you say in a vacuum. You think that would be equitable?
Yeah.
Because you're going to, even if you have LeBron and AD, you're still going to need some of, I'd want to keep Josh Hart.
Oh, I would love to keep Josh Hart.
I'd want to keep Josh
And we got
Hart.
Lance. You know Lance is damn.
Throw Lance in there.
Or Lonzo.
Maybe Lonzo might be the guy. But, okay, so that's AD. KD... In Golden, the story was right on because around the league, people do think this is last year there.
Sure.
In Golden State, they're going to try to sell him on one more year. They kind of know he's not finishing his career here. But they're hoping one more, we can convince him, look, you want to play the first year in the new arena. Don't leave yet.
this
So
year
that's
and
going
next
to,
year.
right, that's going to be their sell. and one thing that may help him with that is where's KD going to go? You got the Clippers. Now, he could always do that. Does he want to go there? New York? If Kyrie's not going with you, or if and New York's got to do some maneuvering to get 2 max spots. So New York, I think, is only going to be in play if there's somebody else that can go with him. You know, especially if they have a bad year. If Porzingis doesn't play or plays 10 games, can you count on him being healthy? But New York, I would say.
Yeah, we know KD like to go with stacked decks, don't he? We know he likes to go with all aces.
Well, but hold on. In fairness, if I'm KD, KP, Porzingis, and Kyrie, that's a really strong team. But it's not like going to Golden State. Like he went.
But I'm saying he like going.
But it's kind of what LeBron's done. Other than LA, like I want some talent that I can win with. So I'll give him that.
He went to LA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the two moves before this. That's what I'm saying. Kyrie. Even though he said he wants to stay in Boston, I was talking to an executive last night that said, I think he's going to end up somewhere else.
Wow.
And so because it's not just about Kyrie. It's about Boston. Like, what if they don't get to the finals? They're not off to a great start this early, but what if they don't get to the finals? I don't know if I see this, but what if they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals with Kyrie? And you made it without him. You got all these max guys. Will they want to give him 5 years, 190, with the injury history that he's had and the fact that maybe we played better without him?
And Tatum coming down the pipeline.
Right.
Jaylen Brown coming down the pipeline.
So here's the thing, Shannon. If they decide if they decide we can't have all these max guys or we want to move on from Kyrie, I don't know that he's there the whole year, because are you going to trade him before the deadline in February rather than lose him for nothing as a free agent?
Definitely.
Or do you trade somebody else? Like, if I were them, maybe you try to trade Gordon Hayward. Because I think Jason Tatum's better than Gordon Hayward.
No doubt.
Right? Jaylen Brown, I think, will be if he's not already.
Well, he is right now.
Right. I think Jaylen Brown's better. And I think Horford's more valuable to the team than Hayward.
I agree.
So, to me, Hayward's expendable, or if they want to. So, it could be all sorts of upheaval. And then I mentioned Kawhi. Look, I've been told before he was even traded until now, it's L.A. Now, the Lakers feel, and I've been told it doesn't matter, but he's going to L.A., one or the other, Clippers or Lakers. But the Lakers feel confident. They think, despite all these rumors that he doesn't want to play with LeBron, he doesn't want to.
We can't get Kawhi and AD. We ain't got that kind of money.
Well,
I played the lottery. I was trying to get that.
So which one you want? That's the thing. Which one you want?
Give me AD. AD a monster.
AD's better. I think AD's better. I think
AD a monster.
And I'm not writing off Toronto, because what if they get to the finals? What if Kawhi's the MVP? Woo. And they're already. Did you see the video they put out that they played?
Where I don't want Kawhi to win the MVP. Skip a cancel out show.
You're not
He can't do it.
his name.
He can't do it.
He can number 2.
I don't ask him, man. Address the man by his name.
He's
Skip.
just number 2 to me.
Address the man.
Number 2.
After what he been doing.
that forgiveness in your heart.
Yeah, find it in your heart.
Because he's balling.
It might take some time.
Yeah, he's balling until he gets hurt. He already missed a night of a back-to-back. He missed the second.
We're going to get rest.
I think that was rest.
Rest.
I wanted to see him play.
Rest?
Right.
It's too early for rest.
In a year, right?
And the coach said, if you're going to come back after a night off and score 35, I'm going to give you another night off.
Yeah, I can just tell you, his thigh is going to start hurting.
No, it ain't. Stop wishing bad. I knock on wood like you do. I knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Stop wishing bad ill on people, Skip.
Yeah, well, you're just rooting for him to come to the Lakers.
But anyway, I said this from the very moment that I thought, or that Anthony Davis signed with Rich Paul and Clutchport, that I thought this was a move that was going to get him to the Lakers. And I still believe that. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but not very often, Skip Bayless. Not very often.
I know 10 times you
No. So I feel very comfortable. This KD thing, look, if the only way this thing gets broken up and Golden State doesn't go on a run here and win 2 or 3 of the next championships is that KD breaks it up. Because KD breaks it up, now they become beatable. It's not going to be easy because they played together before. They've gone to NBA Finals before without KD. They've won. It wouldn't be easy. But KD is the one thing that come playoff time, come finals, that you have no answer to. Because I can run two guys at Steph. You got no answer for KD. You run two guys over him, he's still going to release the ball at over 11 feet, and you can't touch it. He can play with his back to the basket. He can put the ball on the floor. He can initiate up. He can do all these things. So there's no answer. So if he doesn't break it up, Golden State's going to win another 2 or 3 championships.
Well, what if AD or Kawhi goes to the Lakers?
We need both of them.
I mean, it is feasible.
So you want to stack your deck?
Yeah!
Oh, okay.
Hey, look,
it's okay.
I'm a
for you to stack
magician.
it, but KD,
That's our magician.
If KD stayed in Golden State, maybe other players would. Now, I don't know that Kawhi would want to go to a super team like that. But let's say they could get Kawhi as a free agent, the Lakers.
Yes.
You could have traded for AD if you gave up, like you mentioned, your package.
Oh, that we get this over, Skip.
And you could have 3.
We win 8. We'll go probably like something like 76-6. With AD, LeBron, and Kawhi.
70. Did you just say
76-6?
You realize that's the record by
3 games. Three games. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can we bet like a swimming pool of Diet Mountain Dew on that?
If Golden State's gonna go 73-9 with Steph, Clay, and Draymond, you don't think we can win 3 more games with Kawhi, AD, and Bron?
The challenge would be the adjustment, right? That's a lot of adjusting.
Hey.
But come playoff time, they'd be ready to roll.
So, by far the biggest domino in all of these scenarios is number 35 up in Golden State right now.
Yeah.
And he's going to tip the scales in one direction or the other, stay or go. And then where does he go? And it's interesting to me because the X factor in all this is Kyrie Irving. And you guys know how much I love Kyrie, but I don't love what I'm seeing from him so far because he's no longer Kyrie Irving. And I sure hope that changes for his sake and Boston's sake and his future's sake. But he's had 2 major knee injuries. And right now, he is tiptoeing through games. He's like on ice just because he doesn't trust his legs yet.
Yep.
And I hope he does, but when you've had 2 major ones, and you're kind of a sensitive young man to start with, like he's really thinking hard about it.
He's a thinker.
He's a deep thinker.
Yeah,
and he's thinking, is this worth it? Is my knee? Is
Paralysis
this
by
yeah, right.
analysis.
Yeah. What about the rest of my life?
And
right?
the guy that I replaced here, he played with a slight injury, and it cost him. So all that's going through. But here's the thing, Skip. He said what he said with the Boston Media Day, Fan Day. Guys, if you would have me. I remember.
It was in a building full of crazy fans. What are you going to say?
You remember after Game 5 when he was sitting up on the podium and he was talking about how great he would be foolish not to absorb all the information playing with the greatest player. This dude is unbelievable. And then 2 weeks later, I want out.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he may want out because they might want him out of Boston because they are so loaded. He's going to have to hold off Rozier now for some minutes because Rozier's playing at a higher level right now than Kyrie Irving.
He doesn't look explosive. He doesn't look explosive. He doesn't look as quick. I mean, Kyrie used to put the pap into the bucket.
It's not there.
And that's where, like you said, you just hope it comes together, and you hope it's related to rust and the injury and things like that. And Danny Ainge has shown. I hate to use the word cutthroat because Danny's a nice guy, and I don't think he means wrong or ill, but he will do what he has to do.
I'm trying to win.
He's straight business. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
We saw it with Isaiah. If he did that to Isaiah, who played after his sister's death and through the injury and was darn near MVP.
The dots connect at Madison Square Garden, and if Kyrie's not Kyrie anymore, then is KD saying, I don't know if I want to just go play with Porzingis and they're kind of strapped already. I don't know. Then does he stay?
Does he go there? But would he might go there with Jimmy Butler.
Maybe.
Well, we know where he's not going. OKC. He ain't going back like Bron.
No.
I don't see that.
I don't think so,
I don't see
Chris.
that.
Thank you for joining us. We have a lot to look forward to and a good season coming up. But how about Baker Mayfield, Skip, your guy? Well, our guy. He hasn't really been helping us out lately. Why? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
The Browns offense, they have struggled big time in their overtime loss to the Bucs last week. They didn't score a point on offense until the third quarter, and then they couldn't get a first down in overtime. The loss prompted Hugh Jackson to say he will be more involved with the offense. Baker Mayfield responded to that yesterday. Let's hear what he said.
I think a lot of things are said post-game, emotionally, but I think the thing around here is we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need to perfect our craft. You look at the good teams around the league, they work hard at what they do, and they become very, very good at it. We have what we have. We don't need to try and change too much. We just need to get better at what we're doing. There's no secret recipe for success besides working your ass off for what you have.
Shannon, what do those comments tell you?
It's saying that, look, guys, there's no reason to panic. Baker Mayfield started 4 games. 3 of those games have been 3 points. 3 of them's going to overtime. So what are we panicking for? We're fine. I mean, we scored 40 points, we lose. We scored 23, they kick a field goal, we lose. What are we panicking for? The only game they were blown out was the Chargers. And Baker's also saying subtly, Hugh, last year you had control of the offense. You were 0-16. The year before that, you had control of the offense. You were 1-15. Nah, we need you to stay right there where you are. But Hugh understands, Skip. Hugh's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. If I need to have some because I believe it's going to take somewhere between 8 and 9 games for Hugh to keep this job.
Yep.
And Hugh said, like, you know what, if I'm going to go down, let me go down, with my hands on the wheel.
Yep.
And not somebody else controlling my own destiny. But I agree with Baker. What are we panicking for after the last second field goal? Because we got the ball first in overtime. Things just didn't go our way. The Raiders, I mean, look, shouldn't even got to overtime because that was a fumble. Derek Carr fumbled the ball. The guy scooped it up. It should have been a touchdown, and the Browns should have won this game. So I agree with Baker Mayfield. I don't agree with Baker very often, but in this situation, I do. There's no reason to panic. They're not getting blown out. The games are close. Hugh, you're doing a good job overseeing the team.
Yep.
Let Todd Haley continue to do what he's doing.
Do you realize what a powerful statement you just said and Baker just said between the lines of what he was saying? He said, no, Hugh, this is between the lines. He's saying, no, you just keep doing what you do because the guy who's calling my plays is doing just fine. That's powerful.
True.
That's really drawing a line because I'm pretty sure Baker is closer to the new GM, John Dorsey, than he is to the old head coach, Hugh Jackson. And I'm pretty sure that John Dorsey has dropped a hint or two that maybe we'll go in a different direction at some point at head coach. And I think that's coming. And I think Hugh is flailing and fighting, and I've always supported Hugh, but I didn't love the way he, in my view, mishandled the quarterback competition during training camp that was for all to view on Hard Knocks. And all of a sudden, he had 2 star coordinators, Greg Williams, Todd Haley, who were sort of taking over Hard Knocks.
Both have been head coaches.
Both have been head coaches. You don't think you're threatened? And now Hugh, when he grabs the mic, he's trying to seize the day. This is my football team, and I'm in charge, and I have final say on everything. And now he's indicating he's going to take back over the offense. I don't think it would be a good idea for the reasons you just said. Although Hugh's had stints as a coordinator in Cincinnati and at USC, where he was really good at it. Oakland, yeah. I mean, he was the head coach for a while.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. What Baker's saying is be patient. Baker has that luxury. Baker has a fully guaranteed contract. We know he's going to be there for at least 4 years. They're probably going to pick up his option. Guess who doesn't have another 4 years to be patient? Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson says, I need to get wins. This closeness does not count. This is not a grenade throwing horseshoes or I'm not slow dancing in the 8th grade. So closeness has nothing to do with whether or not I'm going to be able to hold on to this job. So I get what Baker says, and I agree with Baker. Hugh, we saw what you did when you had control. 1-31. Let Todd Haley keep this thing. But Hugh is saying, Baker, I can't be patient. My boss wants to see wins. He wants to see we moved up to get you. We got talent around you. Defense is playing. Defense is still playing at a high levels. Now, one game we saw them against the Chargers. We were like, what happened to the defense? But all in all, they've been very solid. I get what Hugh's saying, but Baker's absolutely right in this situation.
How many times do you see a new GM come in and stick with the old head coach for longevity? It just doesn't happen. Usually you'll give him a shot, and usually you're not quite on the same page, and you go a different direction.
I want my dog. I want my guy. I want my dog in the house.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure John Dorsey will go in a new direction, not during this year, but next year, and I feel bad for Hugh because he's a good football coach. He has not proven that much in Cleveland, and I hope he gets another shot somewhere else.
Well, dang, Skip, how many shots you want him to get?
You know what? I think he's the classic. He's a better coordinator than a head coach.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Some guys are like that. Wade Phillips, Wade was head coach at Buffalo. He was head coach in Denver. He was head coach in Dallas. I don't think he was head coach in San Diego, but he was head coach at a lot of different places.
He was.
But he's a better defensive coordinator. And maybe that's the same case with Norv Turner. Maybe Norv Turner is just a better OC than he is HC.
No doubt.
And that's okay.
And that is also the case with the current Dallas Cowboy head coach, the 8-8, 8-8, 8-8 Jason Garrett.
So.
Yeah.
But when your dad owned the team, you
Yeah.
get to be whatever you want to be.
Quotes around
Yeah,
Dad,
yeah.
but
I
he
mean,
is.
old Jason Garrett Jones.
No, he is. No, he is another son.
Yeah.
To a fault.
Steven's like, he got to get him up out of there.
Yeah.
Steven say he's trying to cut into the inheritance.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not
That
yet.
is true. I would agree.
All right, we are going from Baker Mayfield to Aaron Rodgers because he is a huge underdog on Sunday, and that's not something we say often. Mark Schlereth is here next.
No mercy.
Well, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will be here in LA Sunday to face the undefeated Rams on Fox. They're a 9.5-point underdog, which is the highest point spread against Rodgers since he's been the Packers starter. He's facing a Rams team that is a perfect 7-0 and averaging nearly 34 points a game. Fox NFL analyst Mark Schlereth is joining us this morning. Mark, what does the point spread tell you?
Well, I think it tells me this, is that the Rams are considered a much better, a much more complete football team. You rely on Aaron Rodgers. You're the Green Bay Packers, and we've seen this throughout the career of a guy like Peyton Manning, several of these elite quarterbacks, where you get to the point where you just rely on that elite quarterback to be elite all the time. I look at Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. There are games where they go, Tom, you're going to have to beat this team. We're going to out-scheme you. You're going to throw the ball a ton. There are times where they say, hey, some innocuous backup running back is going to get 200 yards rushing. So from a scheme standpoint, they are much better at scheming their opponents. When I look at the Rams, they're a complete football team. And offensively, the thing that's interesting about them is many big plays as they make, they have what they call the illusion of complexity. Meaning they are running motions and jet sweeps and all this different stuff. And the bottom line, they're going to get into 11 personnel, 3 wides, the nickel personnel, and they're going to cram it down your throat with Todd Gurley. And you look at their balance, you look at their ability to run the ball, the way they go about their business, they are exceptional. So what this tells you more than anything else is, yeah, we love Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is great, but you're not nearly as good a football team as what the Rams present at every level, offensively as well as defensively.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Somebody said that about, let's see, look at my time.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, probably about an hour ago. Somebody said that very same thing. I tried to
Somebody said something else.
Yeah, you said something else. You tried to make it about, well, that would have been Tom Brady. He would never be favorite underdog.
Words out of my mouth.
No, but I know what
I'm
you're
noticing.
saying. And it's simple as this. Look, Vegas, there's a reason why they keep building these billion-dollar buildings year after year after year. They're not building those with winners' money. They're taking in more than they're shelling out, Skip. And the Rams are. When you look at them, what they possess, their ability to run the ball consistently with Todd Gurley. Because what? He's still a top 5 rusher with all those touchdowns. And you don't have to change. A lot of teams, you got to change. When you get to third down, they'll bring a different. Adrian Peterson, unless it's 3rd and 1, is coming off the field. A lot of the running backs, even Mark Ingram in New Orleans, for the most part, he's coming off the field. They're bringing Kamara on the field. But when you play the Rams, Todd Gurley's not leaving the field.
Right.
He's an every down back. There are very few of those now that's left in the NFL that there are every down back. And that's what he is. They have a quarterback that a lot of people thought was a bust. The bust was the coach that was coaching him when he got drafted. They got rid of him, and now Jared Goff looked like, wow, I see why he was the first overall pick. Defensively, Aaron Donald's a monster. It's as simple as that, Skip. They got nobody to block him. If they thought what Khalil Mack did to him on opening night was something, oh, you just wait. You just wait and see what this guy, because this guy here is the real deal. He reminds you of another guy that wore 99 that played in Tampa, Sapp. He's just smaller. He's just as quick. He's powerful. He got all the moves. He'll swim your stick. He'll hump you. He'll bull you.
When is it my turn?
It's your turn right now.
We've heard enough.
But guess what? Don't sell him short, though, Skip. Now he's still special.
That poor Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, there you go.
He's got
See?
no help. It's just, you know what? Vegas is screaming that Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady. That's what this tells you. If this were Tom Brady and obviously the New England Patriots, but if they were at the Rams this weekend, it would be maybe LA -3, maybe -3. It might even be pick 'em. It'd probably get bet up to pick 'em.
With or without Coach Belichick?
You mean the guy who's lost his fastball on defense?
So what is Mike
You mean
McCarthy
the guy
lost?
who gave up all those 41 points in the Super Bowl to Nick Foles? The guy who got torched at Jacksonville, who got torched at Detroit, who got torched in the second half by Kansas City and gave up 31 points at home? That's just pathetic upon pathetic upon pathetic. Like, at some point, the emperor has no clothes anymore. You just say, you just got exposed. You're out. Because Tom Brady keeps overcoming one of the worst defenses in pro football, and don't tell me it's better than Green Bay's, because it's just not. I can just show you the numbers. Even to your point, points scored.
It's close.
15th to 20th. The Green Bay's given up the 15th most points to the 20th most points by New England. But yards, it's 8th to 25th. So, again, teams are just going up and down the field on Belichick's defense. They're still scoring at the rate of the 20th most points in the league against that defense that is just pathetic. And don't give me running games, because if you've noticed, Aaron Jones, since he got healthy and came back, he's averaging 6 yards a carry for Green Bay. And don't give me receivers, because Devontae Adams is a big-time #1 Pro Bowl receiver.
He is.
He's averaging 12 yards a catch. And Jimmy Graham is living up to however much money they gave him, because he's not quite Gronk, but Gronk's rarely quite Gronk because he's not healthy anymore.
But what are you going to do? But you make it seem like if they're the 20th ranked defense or against yards allowed, what do you think the Rams are going to do? They average 34 points a game. So what do you think the Rams are going to do to the
Well, I know
Packers
what
defense?
Tom Brady would do. He would just control the football. And you could say he'd dink and dunk, but his leading receiver is little tiny James White, who's averaging all of 8 yards a catch compared to 12 for Devontae, and their catches are about the same. But you're getting away with James White and Chris Hogan, and obviously you finally got Edelman back, and maybe Josh Gordon will turn into something, and maybe he won't, because you said he looked like he was running with a piano on his back
But he did
last week.
But go ahead. Nick.
So I was just going to say, so what you're making a case for is that Bill Belichick is a much better coach, and that coaching staff is a much better coaching staff than they have in Green Bay. If you have all those players that are better in Green Bay than they are in New England, aren't you really making a case that?
I know, but the quarterback keeps overcoming a pathetic defense in New England. And I think Josh McDaniels is really good because Tom Brady's also a coach on the field, and they collaborate well.
What about the defense?
What
Mike
about
McCarthy.
what defense? The Packers defense?
All I'm saying,
it's not great, but it's better than New England's. That's all I'm saying.
Tom Brady has had top 10 scoring defenses throughout the entirety of his career.
Well,
Aaron
not for the last 3 years he hasn't. Well, he hasn't.
Where did they finish last year? They were top 5 in scoring D.
Did you see what happened in the playoffs?
But see,
Blake Bortles had him on the ropes. He was
No.
up 20-10 in the fourth quarter.
They scored 3 points
Yeah.
in the fourth quarter. Skip.
Tom Brady threw for 138 yards on that defense
Why?
in the fourth quarter.
Why?
Fourth quarter, he controlled the ball.
If you don't mind me asking, how many yards did he throw for against Philly? A bunch of yards. But guess
505, an all-time playoff
And in the
record.
fourth quarter, he threw for a bunch. But guess what happened? Philly scored 8 points. The difference between scoring 8 points and scoring 0 points. That's what happened.
How does the backup quarterback score 41
But
on
you
Bill
talking about-
Belichick? I don't know. I can't get over that. Maybe it's because he didn't play his best defensive back for the whole game. But I
Stop,
don't get it.
Skip.
Well, I'm
Will you-
serious.
Skip is
I don't
over
know.
with.
Well, it is over with, and it haunts me.
And you know
I
what?
mean, I lose sleep
And Tom
over it.
Brady
Like,
has to-
how did that happen?
Tom Brady has to control the ball because he doesn't have big play capabilities.
Mm.
Brandon Cooks can hit you for 80. Todd Gurley
He
can
used
go
to
for.
belong to Tom Brady, right?
Well,
He
man,
used to
what
be-
you want me to do about that? They didn't want him.
Yeah, because Bill wanted to handicap his quarterback, sabotage him.
I think,
No, I'm
I think
serious.
that, I think for me, the biggest thing about when you talk about Aaron Rodgers is, does he have some weapons? Yeah. Do you rely on Aaron Rodgers to bail you out with big plays? I think the difference is how you scheme in New England, how you get guys open, how you take advantage of what the defense is doing, how you make them, quote unquote, play left-handed. That's all New England stuff. And there are times in Green Bay when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you just go, hey, man, go out and win a game for us.
Okay.
And that to
How
me
often
is
can he really do that? Like I don't
Well,
see it
apparently
enough.
in Green Bay they can do it a ton because that's
all they got. That's what they
that's
do.
what they've done.
Well, wait a second. Since his lone Super Bowl long ago, he's 5-6 in the postseason. So in the postseason, he can't just say, "I'll go win this."
Guess what?
game."
Well, because
Guess
you're
where they
playing
went
against
last year
really good
without him?
teams in
Guess
the
where they went
postseason.
last year without him? Nowhere.
Well, where would anybody go without Tom Brady?
But here's the thing, Skip. The reason why you don't keep a Brandon Cooks because the Rams gave him $15 million. Guess what you're not going to do? Play a skill player more than your franchise quarterback. That's why.
Where would anybody go without Tom Brady? Wait, what was that? Matt Castle went, what, 10,
Okay,
11 and
that
5?
was back when
Wait, what did Jacoby Brissett want to get? What?
Yeah.
Who else?
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo.
They got Garoppolo paid.
They still found ways to win.
Would they have won the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo? They would not.
They didn't win the Super Bowl last year with Tom Brady.
Well, he put up 33 in the Super Bowl. Is that not pretty good?
No, it's not pretty good.
That would win every other
It ain't
Super
better
Bowl
than
except
41.
that one.
It wasn't better
was
than
the
41.
record for a losing team.
If Garoppolo would have put up 33, they'd still lost.
And back in
Just like
2008, Belichick still had his fastball.
If you don't mind me asking, when they lost that first Super Bowl in 2007, how many points did Tom Brady put up? After averaging 37 a game.
Put up the winning points.
14 points. You mean to tell me a guy put up 14
The winning
points?
points.
50 touchdowns.
And took the luckiest play in the history of the Super Bowl.
And threw one touchdown.
Okay.
He threw one touchdown.
That was enough. That should have stood.
Really, Skip?
Well, no, really. He did. 2 minutes left. It's 14-10.
Coach Belichick held a team to 17 points and lost.
Mark, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
joining us,
You're
trying to
welcome.
help me out here. Okay, we're switching gears. Malcolm Jenkins defended Colin Kaepernick yesterday. He also took a shot at the Jaguars. We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Malcolm Jenkins and Eric Reid got into it before Sunday's game and had to be separated. Reid was the first to kneel with Colin Kaepernick back in 2016. Jenkins led a coalition to fight against racial injustice. After the game, Reid called Jenkins a sellout and said he, quote, co-opted the movement that was started by Colin to get his organization funded. Jenkins and the Eagles play the Jags on Sunday. Yesterday, he managed to support Cap while also calling out Jacksonville's quarterbacks. Let's hear it.
I wholeheartedly believe he's being blackballed. To speak out and support people like Eric Reid, who put his job on the line to fight for those who didn't have a voice. I've always maintained, and every chance I get, to say, Colin Kaepernick has started this. Eric Reid deserves a job. Colin Kaepernick deserves a job. I can turn on the tape this week and our opponent and see that Colin Kaepernick deserves a job.
Shannon, do you like those comments from Malcolm?
Well, I don't think it affects anything. I mean, he's stating the obvious. No one that follows football, that studies football, that understands football can honestly say Colin Kaepernick doesn't deserve a job, especially when you watch Nathan Peterman in Buffalo, when you watch the Brock Osweiler, when you watch Blake Bortles, when you watch what's going on in Arizona, Skip. You can't honestly say that those guys are better than Colin Kaepernick. Okay, maybe he hadn't played in 2 years, but he deserved the job. And people are looking like, well, it took him to look at Blake Bortles and to see, a lot of people saw that. And we know why Cap doesn't have a job. It has nothing to do with his ability to learn a defense. And, well, if you have to have – because think about this, Skip. The Baltimore Ravens selected Lamar Jackson with the 32nd overall pick. If something were to happen to Joe Flacco, they're not running the exact same offense for Joe Flacco that they're going to run for Lamar Jackson. So theoretically, you could have two different offenses if you have two different types of quarterbacks. So even though Brian Hoyer is the backup in New England, they're not running the same, they're not calling the same plays for Hoyer that they call for Tom Brady. We understand that. So, yeah, did he take a shot at Blake Bortles? Sure. But his coach took a shot at him the week before. That's why he sat him down in the third quarter, Skip. His coach took a shot at him, saying, look, bro, you're not getting it done.
Yeah.
And he named him starter. Now, Blake Bortles has had some success in London, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Maybe they should play more in London because he's been terrible for the most part playing in Jacksonville or playing in the continental United States. But what Malcolm Jenkins said is true. What Malcolm Jenkins said, a lot of people knew to be true for a very, very long time.
Oh.
Is it going to have an effect on whether or not Colin Kaepernick gets a job? No.
So, two things are operating here. Obviously, Eric Reid called out Malcolm Jenkins after the game, and he called him out to his face before the game, which I deeply appreciated because I do think there was some selling out of the Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reid position for the coalition's position. Be that as it may, Malcolm felt yesterday like he needed to look like he was supporting Cap, so he gave a tip of the cap to Cap by saying, Oh, well, he obviously deserves a job, but he gave that tip of the cap at the expense of the team they're about to play and the quarterback they're going to have to deal with, because you do have to deal with him, like it or not. Now, you think he's flat out garbage. I don't. I just think he's mediocre at best.
Well, that's what he's okay, but you're not winning a championship, and this team is built to win a championship.
So you are, Philadelphia Eagles, having to fly to London to play a Blake Bortles, who in the 4 games he's played in London is 3-1 with 8 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Is he better in London? I have no idea, but those are pretty good numbers by a quarterback who can be pretty good on occasion. The problem with Blake Bortles is he can get kind of hot and then a whole lot not.
Yes.
And when he goes not, he is cold as he can get. And right now he is slumping, but he has this history of snapping out of a slump when you least expect it and coming up big. And I'm going to say it again. Last year, and I'm no Blake Bortles fan, I'm just spitting the facts back at you. He was 14th in QBR, which is right in the middle, which is not bad last year. And he had 4 300-yard games, and he had a really good game at Pittsburgh when they just shocked the world.
Empty.
Huh?
He got a lot of empty calories because he has those stats where they don't mean
Was he the
anything.
winning quarterback that day? Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And did he have his team up 20-10 in the 4th quarter at Foxborough? That's pretty good. That's not garbage.
He had him up.
Okay.
But when I needed him to make a play, when I needed him to make a throw.
See, you're just mad because he lets you down.
No.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just giving you facts like if I'm on the team.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of guys. You've covered this game long enough to know you've seen guys make plays in the first half or early in the ball game, but every meaningful throw, every meaningful catch, they come up
Against
small.
New England, game 2 this year, I saw meaningful throws all over the lot.
What'd you see last week?
And by the way, against the Jets, he had an 81 QBR through for 388 yards. That was in their 4th game this year. So there's 2 big 300-yard games. Again, not garbage, capable. And by the way, are the Eagles still the Eagles, Malcolm Jenkins? I'm asking. Are they?
If you don't mind me asking.
Wait. I'm not finished. They are 3-4, and guess where they rank in pass defense?
Where they rank?
24th in the
That's
league
not good.
in defending the pass. Can Blake Bortles take some advantage of that? And I'm going to remind you, he lost Leonard Fournette, and he lost, before the year started, Marquise Lee. So he lost some weapons that he could be better with.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip, how many quarterbacks this year have been benched during the course of the game that wasn't injury related?
Well, he slumped. And I'm not saying that's the right move, because do you have an answer? Is it Cody Kessler? Do you want to go forward? Because if you want to go forward with Cody Kessler, then bench your starting quarterback and stick with Cody Kessler. I don't agree with everything Doug Marrone does, and we know that Dougie P doesn't agree. By the way, Doug Marrone might have a little axe to grind this week, right?
I didn't
First
think
of
about
all,
that.
what's the answer? Is Blake Bortles the answer?
What's the question?
Exactly.
Well, what is the question? To win the Super Bowl? No.
Why the hell are we playing then?
Well,
I thought that's what they were playing for. That's what they gave him $18 million. Because they said we got a Super Bowl defense, a Super Bowl run game.
Blake Bortles came real close to getting them to the Super Bowl. Getting them. That's an achievement,
No,
man.
it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Is that what you play for? So in other words, you going to Vanderbilt, that was quite an achievement to get into Vanderbilt. Or was it go to get a degree? I just need to know, Skip Bayless, just for my satisfaction. So was your goal to get to Vanderbilt or graduate Vanderbilt?
My goal was to just stay for 1 year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if your goal is Blake Bortles, well, he almost got us there. Well, how close is he this year, Skip? You seen it. See,
I am warning you, when you least expect it, this guy's got some capabilities where he will just shock you.
Well, we remember last year in London, he hung 44 on Baltimore. Remember when that fiasco?
I do.
So he's highly capable in London.
Okay.
I don't put anything past him. But guess what? They only play like 2
do you want
games.
Malcolm Jenkins just blatantly disrespecting him in the context of trying to elevate Cap while disrespecting?
Well, if I'm Blake Bortles, guess what I say? And looking at the defense of the Eagles, Eric Reed should have had a job a long, long time ago.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm saying, Skip, I'm always looking for the get back.
I don't think Jacksonville's going to get back with their mouths, although you never know about Jalen.
Jalen been real quiet lately.
He's been quiet.
He's been real quiet lately.
For a reason.
Maybe they're going to show it instead of talk it. Maybe they're going to
think so?
actually walk the walk.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, you got Blake Bortles? I'll take these. I'll take a walk it to him.
Let me think
Doing
about that.
Okay,
one.
Think about it?
Right.
Okay, you guys decide on the break. Coming up, are the Texans starting to look like a contender in the AFC? We'll discuss that next.
no mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. The Texans host the Dolphins tonight on Fox. Houston is rolling right now. They've won 4 straight games, having given up more than 16 points in their last 3. Shannon, how far can the Texans go?
Not very far. Can they win the division? Yes, because this is a terrible division. Remember, they're playing a last place schedule. But terrible red zone teams. They're the second worst red zone team on offense in touchdown ratio and the third worst on defense. So terrible red zone teams, offense and defense, Skip, they don't go very far. And if they do get to the playoffs, they don't normally go advance past that first game. So I don't see them. They're playing a bad team. I expect them to win this game tonight, but I don't think they're going to go very far because I don't think they're a very good football team.
I love the quarterback, and I don't bet against that quarterback. And if he can get reasonably healthy, he's hard to handle. He's hard to deal with, and they've won 4. And I look at their schedule; it's pretty easy.
Yeah, last place schedule.
So, again, could they win 8 of their last 9? Again, I need them to win at Washington and at Philly because they're.
Stop.
Well, I'm just saying, but could they win all the other?
That ain't what they ask you.
Okay, I'm just saying they could get a playoff home game.
Yes.
Could they win that game? Sure, they could. Then we'd
Who they
see.
get? It all depends on who they get.
It would depend on who they get, but could they advance at least 1 round? Sure, they could. And then Deshaun Watson on the road. I don't know. He's really good. The bigger the stage, the better he gets.
But normally terrible red zone teams, Skip, they're not
okay.
very good. I mean, you're the second worst. And think about what you said.
If
with
you
that guy, you got that guy.
Okay, you got Watt and Clowney. Shouldn't you be pretty good?
You should be,
Okay.
but you are what the record says they are. And the red zone percentage said they're not very good.
Tough number.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.